But we will talk about respect, okay? So, racing.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Slovakia Ring and the 2023 Saudi World Series International Finals. And it's lights a dream, we're off and racing, here we go, 3 wide, 4 wide into turn number 1. We are getting set to crown the World Rental Kart Champions. 360 drivers from 50 nations are set to compete at this challenging 1200 metre circuit in equal equipment where driver talent will shine through. Great move! What a pass! The tension is reaching boiling point. It has been a dominant drive. And yellow flags are out. Drivers have to slow down. No overtaking. Red flags on the track. The race is being stopped. The tension is mounting. Here comes the line. Green flags are out again. We're back underway. Support your endurance podium. What a fantastic race.
Moving to Belgium. Genk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Karting Genk and the Saudi World Series International Finals and the final part of today's 12-hour endurance race. To bring you up to speed, 47 teams of 4 drivers from all around the world started this morning at 10:45 a.m. local time, and in the following 10 hours of racing we have seen 11 different leaders, multiple changes in the weather. The race started dry, turned to damp, dried out, became torrentially wet, and then eventually a few more little rain showers gave way to late afternoon sunshine, and the drivers have been out for the last 3 hours at least on a completely dry 1360 metre Genk circuit here in Belgium. The standings are as follows. The defending race champions, team number 1, PF Racing, have the race lead at the moment. They have made 12 out of their mandatory 15 pit stops. They are on track, just 8 seconds in front of kart number 40, their fellow German team, Team TKR, but Team TKR have only completed 11 pit stops. The second best placed team to have completed 12 pit stops are the 25 team Matrax Racing, based out of Dubai, but the drivers are all Portuguese. They are 57 seconds behind the race leaders, with Infinity in kart number 17 a further 5 seconds back in 4th place, which will become 3rd place when Team TKR make their 12th pit stop. 47 teams started this race. 47 teams still run. Now, joining me in the commentary box, as always, the voice of Latvian motorsport, Gerts Timrots. Gerts, I have to say... Hello! We are 407 laps in. The kart you're looking at on your screen there, the number 1 kart being driven at the moment by Vika Schlitz, is leading. They have a 1 minute advantage. They actually have overturned that advantage. When we left you last, an hour ago, Matrax Racing with the first team to make their 12th pit stop. They're going to be making their 13th pit stop very shortly, and have to say that Vika Schlitz and his teammates, Dennis Holler, have overturned a deficit. So Holler, Christian Dovan, Nicholas Kruger and Schlitz, when Matrax made their 12th stop, they were within 2 laps of...
Exactly, 2 laps off
PF
the pace
Racing.
of PF Racing.
But PF Racing have put some sterling laps, and Duarto Lopez for Matrax Racing has just not been quite able to match the pace. And Vika Schlitz has turned that over into a 1 minute advantage. But Lopez
now
is
Duarte
going to
Lopez has reached almost 2 hours and 30 minutes total running time, which is a minimum for the driver of team. So we think he will be replaced soon. He is already in the stint for 1 hour and 6 minutes.
Yes,
It's
teams in
2:30 for him.
Two of the teams in 3rd and 4th will be making their 13th pit stop much sooner than PF Racing. Now, I'm not quite sure where that puts them in terms of strategy, but obviously PF Racing, I think, are going to enjoy a lengthy spell out at the front at the moment, but Matrax and Infinity, they'll be making another pit stop very shortly. We've also got... in the contention, moving up out of nowhere in kart number 12, the Swiss team, Iris Pro. Iris Pro running in 6th position overall. They've also made 12 pit stops, as have the Damuso dad and son team, who led early on and have now came back to 7th after dropping down the order. The 2 Polish teams in the event, D-Movie Racing and D-Movie Racing Team, teams 10 and 11, they've moved into 8th and 9th place, and the number 10 team have also made 12 pit stops, while KMRS by Scoff, the local Belgian team, one of 2 local Belgian teams, they've made 12 pit stops. However, moving up slowly into the field, the Joker Racing team, they are in 11th place overall, but Luca Di Cobert and his teammates only have 2 pit stops to go. They are nearly 3 laps off the race leader, but they in 11th place, along with KMRS Racing and Rodex, have all made 13 pit stops. To put it bluntly, we haven't decided anything yet, and a lot can still happen in the remaining 2 hours, 34 minutes.
And it's happening already. Duarte Lopez going into the pit lane. He has done 2 hours and 32 minutes on the track total in this race. He's over the minimum necessary to classify, necessary to be on the track, 2 hours and 30 minutes. So its drivers change its 13th pit stop for Matrax Racing. They are now in the pits. They still have to be there more than 1.5 minutes, and we will see where will they come out of the pits. The next team with 13 pit stops done already are down in 11th, Joker team and KMRS Racing, and also Rodex with 13 laps done. They were quite far behind Matrax, but this stint has been stable with a 1 minute and 14 second laps, and the main rivals are clocking 1 minute 13 and big digits.
Now there have been no more lap penalties. We had 3 teams suffering penalties earlier on, very early in the race. The Côte de Coste Racing team, who are currently 34th, they were penalised 1 lap for having a driver underweight. The Young and Wild team from Slovakia and the Greek team, the Old Dogs, or the Vanhat Koirat team, they were both penalised 5 laps for leaving their pits too early. Each pit stop must be a minimum of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, for Vanhat Koirat, that has left them in last place, 47th. Young and Wild are now 41st. They're 9 laps off the lead, having made 13 pit stops. You take 5 laps without the 5 lap penalty, that would put Young and Wild just behind the number 36 team. That would be Rodex in 14th position.
And now Joker team is coming closer and closer. Only 2 places are missing till the Matrax. Both of those teams have done 13 pit stops. In their 13th pit stop now is Matrax. They are coming back out on the track just in front of KMRS Racing, or not. We will see very soon. KMRS by Scoff right behind them, and Andres Sayado at the wheel of go-kart number 25 for Matrax Racing, back on the track with 13 pit stops done. The next team are Joker team and KMRS Racing with 13 stops, and it seems they are behind after the 13th stop of Matrax. They are 2 laps and 1 minute, almost 3 laps behind the leaders.
Now, in other news, so there are other smaller penalties. Each team gets 1 warning for pushing, 1 warning for track limits. The second time a team is seen to abuse track limits, it's a 3 second added to their next pit stop. A third warning would be for a 10-second pit stops. Now, several teams have fallen foul of that. The Sun Life Racing team have got a 10-second penalty to take at their next pit stop. But also, we've got penalties for Matrax Racing. Now, their next pit stop, or the pit stop they have just completed, would have been 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Every second counts here. They've emerged back onto the track.
They went out on the track, if I remember correctly, at 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
Okay.
So it was not the penalty, I think, this time.
Okay, no problems. But again, small little penalties. There are observers and officials all around the circuit here at Karting Genk in Belgium. And with Infinity and Iris Pro now in the pit lane, the gap at the front is 9 seconds between kart number 1 on your screen, the third kart in line, driver with a blue and white race suit, the gold crash helmet, that is Vika Schlitz, and a little bit further back in kart number 40, Team TKR. They are now going into Clubhouse Bend. We will see them on our camera shot there. They're just in front of the PKV team, who are languishing back in 34th place. Last year's runners-up, PFV, are down in 34th position. Iris Pro finished 4th last year, and they crept into contention once again. PK16 Racing, who finished 5th last year. They are in cart number 30. They're 18th overall at the moment, having made 13 pit stops. The Croatia Racing team, we've been following their toils and trials and tribulations all day. They finished 6th last year, and they are still, well, they're in 17th position at the moment, making their 13th pit stop as we speak. Don't forget, they crashed on the opening lap of the race. Red Racing, who finished 7th last year, they are also, by their standards, having a pretty poor day. I'm just going to see where Red Racing are. They're in cart number 35. And I'm looking down the list. They're in 20th position. Marco Zappoli on track for them at the moment. Damuso, Dad and Son, 8th last year. Well, they're 4th at the moment. Kart Team Wittlich, 9th last year, 16th at the moment. And rounding out the top 10 in last year's event, if I can just bring that up, the Joker team from France. Well, maybe they're playing their Joker right at the end, because Kart 19, we really haven't talked much about them until now. Now we're at the business end of the race meeting. Team TKR are in the pits, making their second pit stop. They will fall out of contention, as will the team who are about to replace them in second place on the track, the number 33 team, Puissance 1. They've only made 11 pit stops. So it's going to boil down to a battle.
In this time, Infinity has made their 13th pit stop. They are just back on the track in a first lap out of the pits, and Infinity is back on track in front of Matrax Racing and leading them now by more than half a minute. That means in this stint, Infinity has done a better job and now are the first team with the 13 stops done already, and the Matrax Racing is 2 places down, losing only 3 seconds, maybe a little bit more, 3-4 seconds between Infinity and Matrax Racing, 2 teams who have done 13 pit stops already.
So the battle for what will effectively become second and third is really heating up. Only 3 seconds between Infinity and Matrax Racing, but you can't count out several other teams. I will say that at the moment, the team to beat are the reigning and defending champions, PF Racing. They look
It
extremely...
will take an awful lot of job to beat them.
They will need... I have to say, at this point in the race, you know, pace alone, picking up half a second a lap just isn't going to cut the mustard.
And there is no one who is going so fast now as Vikash leads with go-kart number 1 in a 1 minute 13.8 seconds. She and Lucas Schneider with the Poisson's Kart 1 are the only ones in 1 minute 13, while everyone else is 1 minute 14 doing now.
However, there may be a wild card. The weather. We spoke earlier, we thought that the rain, which was due to pass through this region this evening, would just miss the northern tip of Genk.
It has turned just a little bit right, closer to the track, but it seems it's passing already.
It may just miss us, but we cannot guarantee that there will be no more precipitation. One thing is certain in this event is that nothing is certain until the checkered flag falls.
It's one thing, it's certain. It's 2 hours, 24 minutes and 30 seconds till the checkered flag will be out.
Now, PF Racing. So, Puissance Kart 1 are in the pit lane for their 12th pit stop. That will bring Damuso, dad and son, into P2 in the number 8 kart. And of course, traffic. Here is another wild card. It's the other 46 karts on circuit that don't really care about who's leading because they are all in their own private battle as well. And as you can see here, Victor Schlitz in the race leading kart has got a whole host of other karts to try and get past. There he is with a gold crash helmet with literally 7 or 8 karts in front of him, and he has just put second place team number 8 Damuso and Son, who have got the grey race suit on, and Damuso and Son Ivan Batari is sitting just behind the race leader in the same group. There he is on your screen now with the grey race suit. He is now 2 full laps down, but they're on the same pit strategy. So when all things shakes out, Damuso and Son will not be featuring in the battle of the podium as things stand.
We are in 418th lap of this race. From second place goes Poisson's car down to 7th, now to 8th and back on the track after only 12 pit stop with a 2 minute 32 seconds time in the pits, and Poisson's cars are down to 8th place now. KMRS Baiskov moving up to 4th with the 12 stops done. Daimovie Racing Team with in P5 now with only 11 stops, and followed by Infinity in P6 with 13 stops already.
And you just saw at the side of the screen there that that looked like a spinner just in front of the number 8 kart there. Oh, and Damuso and Son running a little bit wide. Now, you can see the red race suit in the middle of this pack. That's the Asphalt Knights from Portugal. They are well down the order, 24th position. Not a good showing from them this year, sadly. Plenty of spectators who are enjoying a wonderful barbecue here that the organisers are putting on for us at Karting Genk. The hospitality is being second to none, I have to say, although everywhere I've been with this championship, to Lignano, to the Slovakia ring, the circuits have gone above and beyond to make the Sodi Kart family feel welcome. Now, on our screens there's the number 17 kart at the back of that group. That would be Infinity. They're in 6th position, but they're only 0.6 of a second behind the number 11 kart. They're the black race suit heading down the back straight, the black race suit, the multicolour crash helmet. That's the team that's currently in 5th position, the Polish team, the Daimovie Racing team. Behind the wheel at the moment is Martin Takac, the Hungarian driver, but Martin Takac is 3 laps down. They only made 11 pit stops, so we're going to enjoy, all I can say to the Polish team is enjoy the top 5 while it lasts, because I fear that their time at the front is limited. It's going to drop away. Now, who is that kart that is right behind the race leader, the red race suit? Let me have a little look to see who that is, because that it could be one of the red racing drivers. Let's have a quick look there. Kart 35. Yes, it's red racing. That is Marco Zippoli, who is sitting behind our race leader at the moment, even though Zippoli and his teammates are in 17th position overall. 5 laps off the race leads. They're not contending like I thought they would. They have won this event before, but it was not going to be a second victory for them this year.
And now we are very close to the next pit stop for Joker team. They, with 13 laps now, are 4th best team with 2 pit stops to go, and their stint already for Lucas Decobeur is 1 hour and 4 minutes. So in the next 4 laps they will be in pit lane for our first 14th stop.
Now, the pit lane will close at some point before the end of the race I'm not quite sure how long the pit lane will close. I'm not quite sure if there is I'm sure there is a ruling. It will close 30 minutes before the end of the race. So every team now has, let me try and do some maths, 1 hour and 45 minutes to make their final stops or to get their number of pit stops up to 15. 49 minutes,
Exactly.
yes. Maths.
Oh, now 47.
47, there we go. Like English, maths was never my strong point in school. School was never my strong point in school. I like the lunch break, however. That was my favourite lesson.
School is not our strongest point anyway.
Yeah, we have been to the school of life, ladies and gentlemen. So, PF Racing, Vika Schlitz. He has still got to do another 20 minutes at least to get up to the minimum drive time. Ivan Batari has already completed his minimum drive time. And this is the stage of the race now where, with all due respect, the teams are trying to make sure that their slowest driver... male.
Yeah, sure.
All the teams are trying to make sure that their slowest driver has completed it, because really you want your fastest driver out there for the last stint, for that final charge towards the checkered flag.
Actually, you want your fastest driver out there all the time, but there are some limitations.
There are limitations.
4 hours is the maximum time allowed for one driver to be on the track. Minimum is 2:30 and maximum is 4. And we have 4 drivers on each team, and we have 12 hours to race. So that's the window where the team manager has to operate.
Yes, and the team managers are... Well, not that the team managers earn money at this level. This is just leisure karting after all. But the team manager...
You think so? I saw so many guys with the laptops, with the equipment. I don't even know how to name it and what it is doing.
I'm going to seriously name drop here. I had less trouble trying to interview Lewis Hamilton than I have had to try and interview some of these teams. Yes, they take it very seriously.
Of
no,
course.
they don't get paid. But I said, if
Lewis Hamilton has got just a so simpler job. He has just to drive the car. Here we have team managers who have to do everything.
At their phones. They've got to look at their phones
and cooperate and fight with 4 drivers at the same time.
I know. I digress. What I'm saying is that the team managers have had their work cut out for them today, trying with different strategies and what have you, which is obviously because the weather. We went through the weather just before you rejoined us. It has stayed dry, and
it will.
I think those dark clouds are drifting away to the east of the circuit, and hopefully we have seen the last of the wet stuff, because it's Friday evening. It's sun shining. We're in the middle of the summer. I got a feeling the first match has just finished. Let's have a quick look. This is a dual sports broadcasting, ladies and gentlemen. No, it hasn't finished yet. Spain and Germany are in extra time. Germany are leading Spain by several positions in this one, but don't count Spain out. Rodex have just cracked the top 12, and the teams that have completed 13 pit stops, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. However, the 14th pit stop is now taking place for the Joker team. Let's see where that brings them out. They've still got 90 seconds to sit in the pits. They're in 13th place at the moment, 4 laps adrift. I don't think they're going to be challenging PF Racing, but I think the Joker team is still in with a shout of a top 5 finish.
We can predict they will be back on the track somewhere about 22nd, 23rd positions. Now they are already in a pits for some time, moving down the order already to the P15. Also in the pits are PK16 Racing, TMS Jules Bianchi team, and Aries Sport. 4 cars in the pit lane, and FS Legends also joining them there for their 13th pit stop. And down the order, Pomposa Dream Team had done their 14th stop just a minute ago. So 14 pit stops on the way now. Alexander Berard, it seems he will be driving go-kart number 19 after this stint for Joker team. Now they are down to P16 and they still have to be in a pit lane for 20 seconds. Lucas Decobert, Matteo Castel, Martin Brochard and Alexander Berard. Then Joker team down to P17. We have leading PF Racing with a 12 stops already done. 3 laps down are Riccardo Agostini for Infinity Racing. They are 1 pit stop ahead of the all 4 leading teams, but they are losing 3 laps to the leaders and 1 lap to the second place Damuso Dad and Son, 1 lap to Team TKR and KMRS by Skov. And when they will go in for their 13th stop, it means Infinity will be up in the rankings. Now Riccardo Agostini running in 1 minute 14.3 seconds, 4 seconds behind Kevin Tuvena in go-kart number 21 for KMRS by Skov. Now on the track they are separated by only 4 seconds and only 2/10 behind them is go-kart number 11, the Movie Racing team with Marton Takac at the wheel. 2 hours and 13 minutes to go in this race. We are on the starting straight with a bunch of go-kart. The leaders are here through the first corner going now. Schlitt with a go-kart number 1 into the first corner. Now PF Racing leading by 2 laps. Teams with the same amount of pit stops, 12 for all 4 leading teams, and PF Racing 2 laps in front of second place Damuso Dad and Son, and 3 laps in front of next team who has done more stops than leaders, Riccardo Agostini, now with a good lap times with a 1 minute 14.0 seconds for Infinity, running 5th with the most amount of pit stops already done. Down the order, first minute on the track for Joker team. They have only 1 mandatory pit stop left. Now Alexander Berard driving for Joker team. Joker team is back on the track in P17, 26 seconds behind Pedro Duarte in warm-up Pro Racing Team's go-kart number 47. Infinity and Matrax Racing with the 13 stops up in 5th and 7th positions. 1 minute 13.8, and those are the best laps so far for PF Racing and Damuso Dad and Son in these conditions after the rain stopped. 13.6, Kevin Tuvena just managed for his team in a go-kart number 21 going into the next lap. KMRS by Skov, the fastest lap in this lap. 13.7, 13.8, it's KMRS Racing with 13 stops and only 2.5 seconds behind Aries Pro, who are on the same amount of pit stops. It seems like a fight for a place on pole position now, and the next pit stops has began. Ruben Rodriguez Fernandez going in with a 2 hours and 31 minutes done on the track for Rodex team. Rodex are in the pits for their penultimate pit stop in this race. So Ruben Rodriguez Hernandez done already 2 hours and 31 minutes on the track. The other drivers, we had 2 hours and 36 for Miguel Araujo Castro, and it seems like Pablo Pardilla Vidal and Aaron Treles Filguera will be doing the last 2 stints for this team. Rodex still in a pit lane, still for 1.5 minutes they will be there. The next team with already done 14 stops are Joker team down in P17, now just 4 places down from Rodex. Rodex goes to P14. They still have 1 minute and 20 seconds to wait in a pit lane. Red Racing coming up from behind, 5 laps behind the leaders. Red Racing have done 13 stops and already 51 minutes on the track in this stint. So in the next 15 minutes they will do their penultimate stop too, with a 12 pit stops. Warm-up Pro Racing team now in P16, and there are Joker team with Alexander Berard at the wheel of go-kart number 17, now in 17th position, and Rodex down to 15th already. They have 45 seconds left in a pit lane. They are down the order to P15, and now just in front of Joker team. Can they be back on the track before the Joker team? That is a fight now for 16th and 17th positions, but those are the teams with the most pit stops so far. They have only one stop left. After 14th stop, 5 minutes already on the track for Joker team, Alexander Berard and Rodex. The last seconds in the pit lane. Joker team goes by to the next lap, and Rodex are down to P17. They are second team with 14 stops done.
Now, without wanting to cause any controversy, there are a few drivers in with the stewards at the moment protesting some decision that has been made, and one of those drivers belongs to Matt Trax Racing. We're currently in 7th position. Now, we were discussing, I think that might be return, that could be 2nd or 3rd when things play out. So hopefully there's nothing that's going to, continue that storyline longer than we would like. The number 17 team is now just 9 seconds in front of Matt Trax Racing, Infinity, as we watch and wait for, Damuso, Dad and Son. They're due to make a pit stop very soon. Now, it's obviously too early for anyone to make their final pit stop, but of course, with the pit lane closing 30 minutes before the end of the race, effectively, that means that teams have only got a 40 minute window to make their final stop. They can't make it any earlier than 10 hours and 50 minutes into the race, and they can't make it any later than 11 and a half hours in the race. So we're going to see a flurry of stops in the final 40 minutes. Now, who are going to be very busy? Well, everybody has made at least 12 pit stops all the way down the field, so that's something. But we're only going to see Rodex, and we're only going to see Kart Team Vitlik and the number 19 Kart Joker team in once more. I would say that would probably, the drivers going out now, they're committed to a long stint. So hopefully those drivers have refueled themselves as much as the karts and the tyres and what have you, and have got plenty of energy left for their final stint. There on track is the number 2 kart you're looking at. That's the Asphalt Knights with the number 8 kart, Damuso, Dad and Son.
You are right about the long stint. There is Aries Racing Team just back on the track after their 14th pit stop, and now they are Tomas Chiappe at the wheel. He must drive for almost 1 hour to reach his 2 hours and 30 minutes minimum. And then there is...
Yes, Thomas Condominas. He will be taking that kart to the end because he's only done 2 hours and 18 minutes.
So he's missing 12 minutes to his limit, and we know who will drive for them in the last stint.
Yes, so Gregory Morin and Sivert Verafale, they have finished their driving for the day. And now the Swiss team, one of 2 Iris Sports teams, or Iris Pro and Iris Sports, they are committed. Chiappa for the next hour at least, and then Condominas to the end of the race.
So Tom Chiappe on the track for the first few minutes. He has to drive 58 more, and then they will make their next stop. We have 4 leading teams with 12 stops, then Infinity and Matrax Racing with 13, then again 12 for Poisson's Kart 1, and KMRS and Spirit of Kart with 13.
Now, this circuit is fully floodlit. We will be needing those floodlights before the race is over, even though it's the middle of summer and we now have a very bright, the skies have lightened incredibly, considering that it
was darker at the afternoon.
This afternoon, yeah. It's now 8:40 p.m. in the evening. There's another thing that I have to bring. I am the bearer of bad news. In the restaurants downstairs, in the bar, they've turned us off and they're watching the football.
Maybe those are good news.
Maybe
you don't know what they do think about us.
Yes, you don't know. You don't know.
We will not annoy them, so it's good news.
Yes, no, it is. And well, I have to say that I wondered why I also heard a couple of big cheers from certain quarters of the restaurant area, and well.
It was hola, hola, or ya, ya.
Hola, yes. It was not ya, ya, ya. It was 9-9-9 as Spain scored in the last minute of extra time. Well, Germany are 1-2 at the moment. It's the only thing they're going to win today, that's for sure. And we haven't even got started on the France-Portugal match. Oh, my word. You've got Portuguese live WFR Live TV from Portugal. Manuel Branco, our race director, Portuguese. And, of course, Sodicart. We've got most of France here working for Sodicart this weekend. So if the broadcast gets interrupted, it's because the Portuguese TV crew have started throwing computers through the screen because France have scored. And if suddenly all the carts start breaking down, that's because the Sodicart French officials have just decided no, and because Portugal have scored. We'll see. Only joking. Vika Schlitz leads still by 2 full laps over Silas Knuckle. Kevin Tovanin for KMRS by Scoff. So those 3 carts, I mean, Team TKR and KMRS by Scoff, they'll be looking for a place outside the top 5, I think, but still a place inside the top 10.
And now they are running second and third with a 1 stop less than Infinity and Matrox Racing. They are also coming in a 7th, 8th and 9th place. The next teams, and also 10th place team with a 13 pit stops done. Red Racing, Movie Racing, Musodad and Son, KMRS Racing, all with 2 stops left. And the best team with only 1 stop to go are Joker team in a P13 right now, just 2 seconds in front of Aries Pro with the same amount of pit stops.
Andre Callado on board for Matrax Racing now, and Matrax still continue to chase down or try to chase down Infinity, although Infinity are lapping about a second a lap quicker at the moment than Matrax Racing.
It was opposite way a lap ago, so they are fighting through the traffic, it seems like so.
Key, to that. Pit lane at the moment is quiet. Tony Torelli in the number 24 kart, the Lecluse Automobiles Racing team, is currently in the pit lane, but that is about it. And I have to say, having covered this event for several years now, the number of new and improving teams, emerging teams, is very impressive indeed. The teams that spent a long time dominating this championship are now sort of, not for the, some of the drivers are fading down the order a little bit, but what I have noticed is that the endurance racing, people seem to sign drivers in this. There is a good driver market in this, with people making moves across from one team to another. So I'm sure there's a new generation of drivers coming through. We spoke to the new generation team themselves, the Pomposa Dream Team, and they're down in 39th position at the moment. But I know that there's some moves afoot, with another Italian team, and
there are already a lot of teams with.
Can't reveal my sources, but one of them, one of the Red Racing and Pomposa Dream Team. There could be a few driver movements in the driver market.
There seems already is a driver market. We have teams where are drivers from different countries, like Latvians together with Polish guys. So they it
Yes.
seems like they are trading already.
And yes, and some of these endurance drivers, you don't see, they've moved teams since last year, and some of these teams have brought in Sprint Cup drivers. For example, Robin Affolter, who won the Sprint Cup last year, he's not competing in that this year because he has signed with, I'm trying to remember which team he is with, Robin Affolter. I think it is maybe the Joker team, possibly. I will look down my list to see where Robin has landed this year. And of course now he's with Puissance Kart. So he's with Puissance and the French driver driving for a French team now, but that's a new signing this year.
But we don't know, was it an offer he could not resist, or he wanted to drive 12 hours instead of 3 heats and finals?
I mean, that's very possible. Who knows what's going on? But again, the Saudi World Series family, both in sprint and in endurance categories, it retains a lot of drivers who stick with this formula, with this championship.
That means you have to go through whole year qualifying for a Le Mans format for this 12 hours race, not for sprint. So you know where you will be driving next year already.
Yes, that's true, because, the 2025 Saudi World Series finals, which will take place in, can't tell you, we'll find that out tomorrow.
On a great track.
On a great
That's for
track.
sure.
It'll be a great track. The drivers are already halfway through their season trying to qualify for that, like you said.
So they have to know that will they be driving 12 hours or just 12 minutes.
Exactly. Sometimes 12 minutes can be more stressful than 12 hours, as we saw yesterday. And back to the track anyway. So our leaders going through there's Vico Schlitz heading down towards turn number 10. The Asphalt Knights in kart number 2 are behind them. There's our timekeepers, Apex Timing, providing all the graphics and information here that you're seeing on the WFR live TV pictures. And of course, the event organisers, 3MK Events, closely aligned with Saudi Kart. In fact, they're the event organisers, a branch of the Saudi Kart empire. Saudi Kart celebrating their nearly over 40 years as a chassis manufacturer, and the French karting industry has a lot to thank Saudi Kart for, not merely the fact that no other chassis manufacturer in the world sells more karts each year than Saudi Kart.
That's great, and we have just hit the 10 hours mark, and there is less than 2 hours left, 1 hour 56 minutes. BF Racing with 2 laps advantage over everyone else, now with 440 laps done, are clear pretenders to take the win into this year's race in a 12 hours here at Saudi World Series International Finals. But down the order there is nothing clear yet. 2 laps down, Silas Neckel driving in a go-kart number 40 for TKR team KMRS by Skov in a P3 now. They are on the same amount of pit stops as the leaders, but Infinity and Matrax Racing in a 4th and 5th have done already 13 stops, and it seems like not Team TKR and not KMRS by Skov are able to make one more stop and stay in front of Infinity and Matrax. They will be further down. There are coming more teams with already 13 stops done on the track. The clouds are passing over the track, but still without a drop of rain. The forecast was the clouds will be north from the track and passing. They turned a little bit sideways and now are passing over, but the clouds are getting darker, but still without the rain, and track is dry. Still no one is able to repeat the lap times from the second stint in the morning after the first rain, when the track was dry again. We had a 1 minute and 12 seconds lap times. Now everyone is clocking 1 minute 14 and some laps in 1 minute 13. Now KMRS Beskov and Infinity going very fast. Kevin Tuvena and Riccardo Agostini in third and fourth place. They are going faster than their rivals, but the gaps are too big to make difference in a few tenths in a second. 1 hour and 54 minutes to go. PF Racing with the Vikashleds already 1 hour and 4 minutes on the track for PF Racing. Christian Duvan has been on the track almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 37 minutes for Niklas Kruger, and it's Dennis Höller who has been on the track so far only 1 hour and 23 minutes. It seems like there is one full stint for 1 hour and 10 minutes for Dennis Höller in PF Racing.
Well, last year it was Dennis Höller who brought the PF Racing kart home across the line. That fantastic image of him standing aloft under the Slovakian night sky with fireworks blazing in the background. Will we see a repeat of that this year? We will find out. This event would not be possible without all the sponsors. We are going to take one final commercial break, and then we'll be bringing you the last 1 hour 45 minutes of this race uninterrupted. But please don't go away, as we have a final word from our sponsors before we bring you the conclusion of this thrilling 12-hour endurance race.
Capturer cette sensation? Rien de plus simple avec la caméra casque Cambox. Design ultra discret, adapté à tous les casques. Avec sa vue immersive unique au monde, captez vos émotions de course en toute sécurité. Caméra casque Cambox, the safest immersive memories.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final 1 hour and 45 minutes of today's 12-hour endurance race. Since you left us, race leading team PF Racing did come in and make a pit stop. Vika Schlitz finishing his driving for the day, handing over to Dennis Holler, but Holler is not going to be the driver that finishes this race. He's behind the wheel now with 1 hour 45 minutes to go, so there will be another pit stop. Now that may be Christian Dauvan who steps in. Christian was very quick earlier on, so we'll see what happens, but they pitted and retains the lead. Team TKR are running in second place, and they are 27 seconds behind the kart on your screen now. And has to be said that they only done 12 pit stops though. The team that you really now have to start watching is the number 22 KMRS Racing team, because they are currently in the pits making their 14th and penultimate pit stop, their 5th overall at the moment, and they will be just over 2 laps off the lead when they come out. So KMRS Racing, who have led a considerable amount of time, I think apart from PF Racing, KMRS Racing have probably led more laps than any other team so far today.
Now they are in their penultimate pit stop, still have to be there for almost a minute. They are down to 5th, now down to 6th place. Kuba Pichulski driving go-kart number 10 for Demovi Racing Team, moving up to P5, but they have only 13 stops done, so they will be after KMRS Racing. KMRS by Skof are next in the rankings, now in a P7. They are more than 1 minute down and less than 30 seconds for a pit stop of KMRS Racing. The next team with the 14 are Matrax, and then the teams with only 1 stop left are in P11, that's a Joker team. Then in P12, that's Aries Racing, and also 14 stops for Rodex in P13, and they are separated on the track only by 11 and 4 seconds.
Other teams only have 1 pit stop remaining. Kart Team Wittlich, PK16 Racing, Red Racing, and also Lecluse Automobiles. Now, we were talking earlier on about the number 41 kart. That was the tyre shop entry from Ukraine. They were 3rd at one point, and but they have now dropped to 22nd position, and they've still got 2 pit stops to make. So pit strategy is so important. The DY Iron Kart team, that's David Tarian's team, and they are currently, well, Dario Echeverri is out there, the oldest driver in the race, 64 years old. He's now a lecturer at the University of Florida in the United States.
Whoa.
And a professor. But yeah, a professor or a doctor, something that
I think you are not let to do lectures if you are not at least professor.
Yes, so there we go. Yes, I knew we brought you into something. I just thought he stood at the front of the class and said, do your homework. But there we go. Echeverri, and they are running 19th at the moment, so they're probably going to drop down the order a little bit, but I know they've had a lot of fun here. Humaid Al-Khatbi has completed that driving squad along with Danilo Iglesias. No relation to Enrique, I'm reliably informed.
And now KMRS Racing, after their penultimate stop, are back on the track, and it seems they are 8th or 9th now. Before their last pit stop, Matrax goes up to 7th, and Poussin's kart now in 8th and 9th place for KMRS Racing, and now they are 2nd best team with only 1 stop to go, and only 12 seconds in front front of them are Matrax with 14 with the same amount of pit stops.
Certainly going to be exciting when the pit stops all shake out. On your screens there's the number 34 team going through your screen. They're the Racing Girls. There's the 46. That is the Van Hat Koirat team, the Greek team that are running 47th and last, I have to say. The rest of the field, I mean, there are, let's have a look, between first and last place, taking out the penalties, which obviously have affected the Greek team, there would be, 16 laps between first and last after 10 hours plus of racing. What we'll do is, when we get to 1 hour to go, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take you through the full running order so every team gets a mention, but then obviously in the final hour of the race, myself and Gertz Teamrots will be focusing on the battles for the win, the podium, the top 5. There goes the number 40 kart, making a move, passing traffic on circuit, and a little look up to see who that was. So Team TKR, they're enjoying their time up in the top 2 at the moment. They just passed the number the 24 or the 34. It's the 24 kart of Lecluse Automobiles Racing. And yes, there is the number 17 kart on your screen. Infinity running in 3rd place overall. The number 8 kart, Damuso Dad and Son are 4th. And still, the Polish team, Dymovie Racing, they are 5th in the number 10 kart. And it's been a quiet but effective race so far for the Polish squad, with 2 Polish drivers and 2... Oh, no, it's actually Bartosz Babicz, Kuba Piłkulski, Adam Sidlowski, and Latvia's Andres Leitniks.
Who has made an offer and who is driving where, we can only guess.
Yes, indeed. But let's have a look. There is the 2nd place kart on your screen. They're coming up to lap the Croatia Racing team in kart number 7. Now, don't forget, they're the team that crashed on the opening lap of the race. They finished in the top 10 last year.
But they have gone a longer distance than anyone else.
So
far off the track, no one has been.
Yes, exactly. They were buried in the tyre barriers. Right. You are well versed in the phrase of the curse of the commentator. I'm touching wood now, and I say that despite all the karts, all the weather that has been thrown at them, that is the only kart that has crashed into the tyre barriers at the end of the main straight.
Should you say that?
Well, I've said it now, and I instantly regret it. But Croatia Racing, Alex Lopez, Adrian Garcia Lopez, Javier Garrido, and Lorenzo Urosa, they have had a torrid time, and they are still... Well, they've actually moved up to 16th position at the moment, so that's not a bad recovery drive.
Considering the crash was at the very early stage of the race, so you're losing more positions, more time to regain back your position. That cost them a lot, and so they are doing pretty well at the end of our 12 hours race. There is 1 hour and 37 minutes left, so that means there is less than 1 hour and 7 minutes to do all the strategy, to do all the pit stops, because 30 minutes before the end of 12 hours the pit line will be closed. So we have teams who still have to go 3 times in a pit lane. Team TKR, now running in 2nd, have only 12 stops done.
Yes, DY Ironcut. Team TKR, I have to say, talked about our strategy. I'm not convinced that is going to work for them at all. They're lapping quite slowly, so they'll be lucky at this rate to even make the top 10, it has to be said. But still, plenty of racing to go. Stranger things have happened. Now, PF Racing, 13 minutes into Dennis Holler's stint. There is another entry into pit lane, and that is Yevgeny Zalakuk, the Need for Speed Legends team in kart 27, running in 42nd position.
But it's with the strategy of PF Racing. Dennis Huller has been on the track for 1 hour and 23 minutes. He, in this stint, has 14 minutes done. He needs 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yes. So
will he be back for one very short stint?
I think
they have
I could be incorrect here, but I think he had done 1 hour and 23 minutes before he got in the car.
And now 23 plus 14.
33, 37. So he's got another 43. I'm getting maths, it's not my strong point. He's got another little bit of driving to go. I think he'll get it all in this stop.
So
I think.
You think it's enough for him with this stint? With
Yes,
1 hour
yes.
and 10 minutes?
Yes. He
will reach 2 hours and 30 minutes mark. We'll see. Anyway,
he's going to do a 1 hour 7 minute stint, as Dennis Holler. So he's going to have to do a 1 hour 7 minute stint, which means, now I see where you're getting at, because he's got to do a 1 hour 7 minute stint, but then
it's 1 hour and 4 minutes left till the
end of the race. So you've got to do another short stint.
Till the end of the pit lane.
Yeah, there's going to be another short stint. So PF Racing, I mean, I'm sure they have got it all in hand, but who knows? Only the team knows that. And here is Team TKR. They're going to have to be in and out of the kart. They're going to be in and out of the pit lane at regular intervals as we move into the final 90 minutes of action.
It seems you are right. The time at his name, 1 hour 23 minutes, is not changing during this stint.
So
that
now
means
done 1 hour 37 minutes.
1 hour 23 plus 16.
Oh, 16 now, yes.
Already.
39 minutes. So 49, 59, 09, 19, 29.
So
he's got another 51 minutes to go. He is going to get it all done in obviously this stint. He's got time to do it. Another 51 minutes will take us to 40 minutes to go, there or thereabouts. So there's going to be a very quick pit stop. You've got to do a minimum of 5 minutes as well, don't forget. You can't just go out, do one lap and come in. You have to stay in the kart for a minimum of 5 minutes.
So the maximum stint is 1 hour 10 minutes and the minimum is 5, and we will see PF Racing there now. The needed time for 2 hours and 30 minutes for one driver is pushing their 14th pit stop further away, but the 5 minutes to do next stint and the 30 minutes before the race ends when the pit entry is closed is pushing back in different direction.
And now another team sort of in the same situation is the team running in 5th position, kart number 21. That is the KMRS by Scoff outfit with Thomas Rernhar behind the wheel. However, they're in a better position in many respects because Ronhar has already, he's been on track for 12 minutes, but he only has to do, he's done 2 hours 24 minutes. All the drivers have now completed their full allocation, apart from Maverick Desi. And one would imagine Maverick doing a long stint, but they've got to make 2 hours. They've got to make another 2 pit stops rather. Kevin Tuvanen has a very, very quick driver. I would imagine maybe Tuvanen is going to go back in at some point as well. But KRS by Scoff. There's going to be a lot of strategy because the penalties are quite severe if you don't complete minimum and mandatory driving time.
There is actually, we can say there is no penalty. There is just disqualification, and that's all. If you don't drive 2 hours and 30 minutes, or if you overdrive 4 hours on the track, you are disqualified. There are no laps, no seconds added, nothing.
Oh, okay. So that's
just shutting ahead, and that's all.
Yes. Take it out.
No warning.
Take it out behind the woodshed and give it a beating with a large stick, and then excluded. So, Holler, now up to 1 hour 42 minutes on track. And I'm just looking, his lead is 28 seconds. That's a bit irrelevant at the moment. But the one advantage, Infinity, so effectively, PF Racing are now 1 minute and 8 seconds in front of Infinity. So, with drivers doing 1 minute 14 laps, the battle for the lead, PF Racing are threatening to put effectively the second place kart down by a lap. There on your screen is Holler. Now, the kart in front of Holler, the number 8 kart, that's the Demuso and Son entry. They have dropped down, well, they're in 4th position, but not far in front of the Demuso and Son machine will be the number 17 Infinity car, which is pitting now. So, Riccardo Agostini pits the Infinity number 17 car out of 3rd position. That will drop him down the order considerably.
Riccardo Agostini in the pit lane now, already 20 seconds, almost 30 seconds spent there. Infinity now down to 3rd place. Team TKR 2nd. Penultimate stop for Infinity. There are coming Demuso, Dead and Son. They still have 1 lap to go in the top 3 now. They have 2 stops to do with a 13 now, and Miguel Neto driving for Matrax now is P6. Poisson's card with a Lucas Schneider at the wheel are P7, but with still 2 stops to go. And then comes KMRS Racing in P8 with 14 stops, and also 14 for Jogger Team, Aries Pro Rodex. And that's all, with 14 stops done.
Yes, indeed. And also the number 23 kart, Luca Maguili. That is the KRS Green competition kart. They are now making their 14th stop as well. And I have to say, the rules and regulations, they fascinate me, and it gives us an opportunity to sort of enlighten or engage the viewers, because what you see on the track is not necessarily what you're getting, and it keeps the old grey matter up here in the commentary box going, because we're trying to guess and make sense of the race. We're trying to read the race for you, the viewers, as much the people here, and I have to say, the drama is not over yet. We do know that it's PF Racing's race. It's not their race to lose just yet. We've still got to get in and out of the pits twice to avoid penalties within the pit window. And it'll be interesting to find out from the team what the plan was.
And still in the pits, Infinity, they swap drivers. Riccardo Agostini. Boris Bouvier already has 2 hours 34 minutes, 3 hours already on the track for Bastien Legouet, 2 hours and 4 minutes for Nicolo Soffiati, who will be driving now out on the track. It's Nicolo Soffiati. He has already under his belt 2 hours and 4 minutes. It seems like he's one of the fastest drivers in this team. Back on the track with a 1 stop to go, with a 57 seconds till the moment when pit entry will be closed. 1 hour and 27 till the finish, and Infinity still has to do 1 stop. And Nicolo Soffiati, with a 2 hours and 4 minutes under his belt, is back on the track now. Dennis Höller leading with the PF Racing kart number 1. And there is a fight for fourth place on the track. Only 4 seconds separating go-kart number 21 and 17, KMRS Boyskov and Infinity. They are on different strategies, but right close on the track. And also Poisson's kart following Matrax Racing with a 1.3 seconds only. That's Lucas Schneider in go-kart number 33 and Miguel Neto with 25. The closest battles on the track, Joker team with the same count of pit stops as KMRS Racing in P8 and Joker team following them only 2 seconds apart. Karts number 22 and 19. A-Race Pro 6 seconds down. We have a very close grid coming to an end of a 12 hours race. Also Alex Lopez with Creatia Racing Team in a 13. Only 1.2 behind Kart Team Wittlich. Wittlich now our 5th place team who have only 1 stop to go with 14 stops up in the top 5. Infinity followed by Matrax Racing only by 20 seconds and PF Racing 24 minutes on the track. Dennis Höller, he still has a lot of work to do.
85 minutes to go. The floodlights are on here at Karting Genk. And who will shine brightest in the night sky? Well, there's a move. That would be the number 38 kart, judging by the colour of the race suits. That would be the team from France, the Spirit of Kart Racing squad, who are currently running in 25th position with Sebastian Sokolovsky behind the wheel as we watch them head down towards turn number 10. Now, with the lights, most of these karts, you'll start noticing that some of the karts, when they come into the pits now, some of the karts that have pitted recently have got front lights on the karts and rear lights, which is just even more fun for us up here in the commentary box because it makes the numbers on the karts even harder to read. I gotta say, the Saudi kart team here, they do enjoy making us work for their money.
And DY Iron Car team in the pit lane for only 13 stops. They will do 2 stops more in 53 minutes. And
that's Dario Echeverri, I believe, getting out of the kart for the final time today. Let's have a look who's got to get in. Humaid Al-Khatmi has got to do another 30 minutes. Danilo Iglesias has got to do another 30 minutes as well. David Tarian he's done 3.5 hours, so I think the ex-Formula 3000 driver, was he a Prost Junior driver in Formula 1 as well? I believe Tarian has probably done for the day. It's going to come down to Muscat Speedway's Humaid Al-Khatmi and Danilo Iglesias from Spain to bring that kart home.
But this seems really, really close now. We have Nicolo Soffiati in a go-kart number 17 for Infinity team. Infinity is a best placed team with only 1 step to go. In front are PF Racing. They are almost one after another on the track, going through the last corner and onto the starting straight. And now the advantage of PF Racing is 2 laps and 5 seconds. They are clocking 1 minute 14. That means 2 laps are 2 minutes and 28 plus 5 seconds. That's only a little bit more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds you need to do a stop. And PF Racing is 1 pit stop short from Infinity.
This is going to be so close indeed. Now, this could be a critical moment of the race. If we can pick up the race leader going down the back straight, kart number 1, Dennis Holler is going down the back straight now. He's coming through the button S's the button chicane rather, and heading up towards the 180-degree right-hander, now heading down the straight. He's at the back end of a whole train of karts.
And
coming into
Infinity
Clubhouse
on
Bend.
track is in front. Number 17 is in front of go-kart number 1. PF Racing is following on track, but is leading by 2 laps now, by 2 laps and 5.2 seconds, because the last lap is 4/10 faster for Nicolo Soffiati in Infinity team.
Okay, here we go. Now, on your screens now, there is Holler going through your screen now into turn number 1. We'll pick him up coming out of turn 2, going through turn number 3. He's closing in on Infinity in kart number 17 to put them 2 laps down. And Soffiati
5.0
Five
over 2 laps now. The Infinity has closed the gap by half a second, and PF Racing 2 laps and 5.0 in front. The last lap is almost identical, only 100 of a second faster has gone Infinity with Nicolo Soffiati at the wheel.
Okay, so here we go. There is Holler. He's got the Demuso and Son kart in front of him. The next kart up the road is the number 17 Infinity kart of Nicolo Soffiati. If Holler can get past the Demuso and Son kart, who is running third at the moment and is driven by Alessio Lucchesi, he can then try and catch and put the Infinity kart there, crossing the line now. Another lap down, 2 laps down.
But it's Infinity who has now free track in front of them. Nicolo Soffiati is driving in clear air. There is no slipstream for him, but there's no one is slowing him down.
Exactly. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of other. Some points that's good, other points that's bad.
4.3 over 2 laps between them, and Infinity team is closing on lap after lap. Nicolo Soffiati is flying on the track now.
And so this is even though it's not a battle for position on track, it's a critical battle. You've got the first kart on your screen, just there, flicking off to the left. That is the 5th place kart. There, the first kart now in the grey race suit. That is the 3rd place kart. And the 3rd place kart is being chased by the race leader. If the race leader gets past number 8, that would put them a second lap. It would put them a second lap down, yes?
Yes, but now he's not even slipstreaming. Dennis Huller is a little bit too far away. It seems he's not catching so fast. He's out of the slipstream.
And Lucchesi in the number 17 kart there, just flashing across your screen. He's trying to stay. Just less than 3 laps off the lead. If Holler can pass the Infinity kart, that'll put him 3 laps up. And even though Infinity have only got 1 pit stop to make and Holler has 2, 3 laps, that's enough of a margin. But firstly, Holler has got to try and get past the Demuso and Son. Now, he does have a slipstream. Lucchesi, last lap round, a 1 minute 13.9. Infinity, a 1 minute 13.7. Now, the evening air does help these karts. So we're following great work from the WFR live TV crew to follow this battle. This could be crucial when the pits come, all the pit stops sort of smooth themselves out. I know we're not talking about the team in 2nd place, but that's because Team TKR have got 3 more pit stops to make. They are out of the running. KMRS by Scoff, they are a minute behind Demuso and Son, even though they've made the same amount of pit stops as the Italian team in kart number 8. But Puissance kart 13, and then Matrax Racing, they are, let's have a look, Miguel Neto, they are about 30 seconds behind Infinity. So Matax Racing are already more than 3 laps off the pace. But can Lucchesi drag Holler up to Infinity to give Holler and the PF Racing team enough of an advantage to make their extra pit stop without losing the lead? Infinity pass another slower kart. 75 minutes to go. In 6 minutes, the final pit stop window will open. And now Holler is trying to work around and get in front of Demuso and Son, but Demuso and Son are in their own battle for a place in the top 5. Last time around, Infinity 113.7 plays 113.8 for the race leader.
And now the playing field is leveling out. Team TKR are in their 13th pit stop now for already almost a minute. 50 seconds spent there inside the pit line for Team TKR. Silas Neckel in the pit line with 2 hours and 33 minutes done. For Team TKR there is a Lars Lintzen who has been on the track for only 2 hours and 15 minutes. It seems he will be next on the track. We have 1 hour and 15 minutes to go in this race. We have only 45 minutes till the pit line entry will be closed, and we need 5 minutes stint minimum for each driver going on the track. But it seems like BF Racing's Dennis Höller has got in front, and now he is driving in the free air. He has clean track in front of him and can drive as fast as he can, but the last lap for him was 1 minute 14.3, and Infinity Niccolo Soffiati went 13.6, reducing the gap for 2 laps and 3.2 seconds.
And now, of course, the Infinity team know how important it is, so they'll be urging their driver on as much as Holler's team will be urging him on. The drivers know what is at stake, but look at that. There is a lot of clean air directly in front of the number 17 kart, and Holler runs a little bit wide. Was that a push from Demuso and Son? I think Demuso and Son might have been trying to help Holler, and eventually he's going to have Demuso and Son are going to have to be careful, because the stewards might holler at him to come for a meeting for pushing his rival. But there we go, look at him tucking down behind the NASA panel, the airflow, and you can see the kart closing up in the slipstream. Fantastic camera work there from the crew, just to see the slipstream effect, even in these 4-stroke rental karts. You know, that Europa Plan straight is, it's a good 100 metres, 150, maybe 200 metres long, I'm not quite sure. I mean, Usain Bolt would be knackered by the time he got to the end of it, it's that long.
And now first and third teams fighting on the track, but not fighting each other. They're fighting with the clock now, and
that's sorry, Guts. That's a help. They're big help for Holler, because he was just about to catch the number 27 team, Danilo Iglesias, and Iglesias for some reason pitted very
just
suddenly.
to run away.
Yes, he just got out of the way. And now Holler has clean track, and now it's the number 17 kart, because look at that, coming out of turn number 3, Infinity have got 4 karts to try and get through. They passed one of them up at turn number 4. You're going to see them flash across your screens. There's a gap, there's 3 karts, and then the Infinity kart going down the back straight into the Europa Plan. The next kart that Infinity have to catch is the driver with the green and the navy and green crash helmet and the bright green race suit. Can't quite see the number on that. You can see them flash across the screen. Holler has got to use this moment to his advantage. Use that clear track. He's probably going to have track clear for the next 2 laps. And now that driver with the green race suit pits as well. And let's see who that was when they come in. I'm trying to figure it out. It was the number 4, Burrow 11, Need for Speed kart, out of 18th place. So that's one of the obstacles clear for Infinity. Don't forget, Infinity running in 4th place, trying not to go 3 laps down. Why are we talking about a 3-lap gap? Well, that kart in the black and the navy blue and white race suit, they have got 1 more pit stop to make, and a pit stop costs you about 2.5 laps.
It goes 2 minutes and 30 seconds to be stationary in the pits, and also the seconds you lose braking before the pit lane and accelerating at the exit of the pit lane, so there are a little bit more than 2.5 minutes lost per each pit stop. Now Niccolò Soffiati in the go-kart number 17, 1 stop to go. He has done 2 hours and 4 minutes before this stint. There is 1 stop left. We are approaching the 1 hour and 10 minutes mark in this race. Left 1 hour and 10 minutes, and the maximum stint for one driver is 1 hour and 10 minutes. And also, half an hour before the finish, the pit lane entry will be closed, so no pit stops after 40 minutes from now on. And Dennis Höller now is driving 1 minute 14 second lap times. He is 2 laps in front of Damuso, Dad and Son with the same amount of pit stops, 13, and also Team TKR after their 13th stop managed to stay in a top 3. They are still in front of Infinity by almost half a second. Alexander Ozigov now driving for Team TKR, and Ozigov is not the only one who has not driven 2 hour and 30 minutes mark in his team. There is also Lars Lintzen, who will be on the track, it seems like, for the last stint of this race for Team TKR. They, it seems, will be not so far away from top 3 at the end of this race. 1 hour, 10 minutes and a few seconds left. It means a few seconds more. Actually, already the teams who need to do 1 stop can go in the pit lane. They will lose 2 minutes and 30 seconds in the pit lane. That means they will be back on the track well over those 1 hour and 10 minutes mark before the end and can go their longer stint in this race.
Now, despite the continuing improvement in conditions, the fastest lap of the race still belongs to the number 11 team from Poland that was set a good 7 or 8 hours ago now. There is Holler. He's still got Lucchesi right behind him. I've got to say, Lucchesi in second position now with the pit stop that we just saw from Team TKR, and also others, so Damuso, Dad and Son, Alessio Lucchesi, well, he's matching the leader's pace. I mean, he's going to be, they both got 2 pit stops to go. So effectively, Damuso and Son will be 2 laps behind PF Racing when all this shakes out. However, 2 laps behind PF Racing is still going to put you right in the mix of a top 10 position. It does appear, however, that Infinity, well, they have stopped the rot, as it were. You can see the gap has expanded. There goes across the bottom of your screen the Infinity cart. Here is Dennis Holler. And you wondered why then. Dennis Holler, as he went down, you could see him glance to his left-hand side. There is a huge timing screen there. So as he's driving, I'll have a little quick look at the timing screen and what have you. But I mean, George Russell said the same thing in Austria last weekend. He's driving around in 3rd place and he's watching Lando and Max battle on the big screens, and suddenly he wins the race. Who knows what could happen? But Lucchesi's having a storming stint here, it has to be said. Alexander Ozigov is now aboard the number 40 cart. Then Niccolò Soffiati, again, we've talked about Niccolò having a superb stint. Puissance cart 1. They are 3 laps down, but they're only 3.5 seconds ahead of Matt Trax Racing. Matt Trax Racing, I mean, I don't do this, and I never would predict the podium, and I don't like to say that as a commentator. I don't believe in it. You can give predictions. The moment,
so don't take it seriously.
Yeah,
everyone, don't take it seriously.
But PF Racing, they're still in the box seat, but the battle for the 2nd and 3rd steps of the podium is going to be a very good one between Infinity, between Matt Trax Racing, between KMRS Racing, and maybe even Aris Pro, who could creep into contention as well. Because further back in the pack, there are only 20 seconds between the 33 team in 5th position, Puissance, the 25 of Matrix, and the 25 of Matrix. There's only, let's have a look there. Yeah, 30 seconds between Matrix Racing, KMRS Racing, Iris Pro, and Rodex. So that is also potentially the 3rd place battle. Now, we've been looking at this scrap on track for some time. Let's try and find another battle for position for you at home to look at. We've got the number 20, we've got the 22 kart, just 6 seconds ahead. So where's KMRS Racing? They are going into the Button Complex at the top of the circuit. Kart number 22, Bastien Mounier, is aboard that kart. Let's have a look. Bastien Mounier, he has got a purple and orange crash helmet coming down towards Clubhouse Bend now, directly in front of the spectators. Now he comes out in front of us. He's in a white race suit with a black and orange sleeves, and then he has got an orange and white race suit with a purple and orange crash helmet. He crosses the start-finish line now and goes off into turn number 1. He's closing in on the Serbian kart number 3, the driver dressed all in black. That's Bojan from Serbia. It's his first time racing out of Serbia.
It's a good place to start.
It's a good place to start. Now they're going down the back straight, so 3 karts going down the back straight into the Button S's. The first of those with the orange and white race suit, orange and purple crash helmet, kart number 22. That is Bastien Mounier running in 7th position. He is just 6 seconds in front of Iris Pro, the Swiss team. And the Swiss team have got Tom Chiappa behind the wheel. And Chiappa, in turn, is only 5 seconds in front of Aaron Trellis Figueroa for the Rodex team. They've all made 14 pit stops.
And we already have teams that will not go in pit lane anymore in this race. From 3rd place goes Team TKR, but there will be one more stop for them. But down the order, Joker team have done their 15th and last stop, and now they are moving up to 15th place in front of Stefan Sanchez, who just went into the pit lane for TMS Jules Bianchi team. That's penultimate stop, but Joker team 1st minute on the track for the last stint of the race. There is 1 hour and 3 minutes to go. That means the last stint for Joker team, Martin Brochard on the track. He needs 40 minutes to complete his time, and he will be well over the limit and over the finish line.
Yeah, and Martin Brochard is a very quick peddler. Now you can see Bastien Mounier signalling to the driver in front, saying, come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I'm trying to see who that is directly in front of Bastien Mounier. I think it's not the Croatia Racing team, is it possibly? Different race suit for Croatia Racing. No, do you know what? It is the Croatia Racing team. It's Stefan Sanchez. And pitting now, he is for the Jules Bianchi team. So Mounier now sets off. He's trying to pull away from Iris Pro and Rodex, who are now, so this is the battle of 6th, 7th and 8th. Bastien Mounier, the 3rd kart in line here. And coming up on slower traffic, just 6 seconds behind him in bearing down is Tom Chiappa. Aaron Trellis Figueroa is a further 4 seconds down. And last time around, the Iris Pro team were 0.2 of a second quicker than Bastien Mounier, and Mounier has to deal with traffic. You're not missing anything at the front of the field. None of the top 3 are pitted yet. We will tell you when they do, but this is now the battle for what could be 3rd position.
Team TKR are in the pits for the last seconds now. That's their penultimate stop, and that is moving them down out of top 10. They are now down to 10th place from 3rd before the 14th stop. Now the time is over. They are coming back on the track. The last stint for Team TKR. They have only one driver left with less than 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's Lars Lindsen, who is on the track in a P10 for Team TKR. They have a lot. They have 6 cars in front with the same amount of stops, and count plus PF Racing with 2 laps in front of everyone instead of losing 1 pit stop. Still 2 stops needed for PF Racing, 2 stops needed for Damuso Dadensan in 2nd place, and only 1 stop for Infinity, who are now up to 3rd place with Nicolo Sofiati.
So, Bastien Mounier on our screens now. He's made really good progress. A little bit of, how shall we say, le French, Arab Yobak, Europe mine, mon ami. That is the cart behind him as giving Bastien Mounier a little helping hand, as it were, and the cart's behind him. So Iris Pro have got to get past. Chiappi pits. So Tom Chiappi is the first of the leaders to make their 15th and final stop, and Rodex are also in the pit lane. So in the pits is where the battle is now, as we see the number 12 cart, the number 36 cart pit. So are Kart Team Vitlik. They're also in the pits of the final time. Where will they come out in relation to Joker Team? Bastien Mounier there. He's got that rear gunner behind him. Let's try and find out who the person is. It is the Croatia Racing driver, number 7, who is helping Bastien Mounier along and acting as his rear gunner. There they are, and there's the number 7 car tucked in behind, pushing Bastien Mounier along, and they're not teammates, but they're certainly mates at the moment. Let's just leave it at that.
They are faith mates now on the track.
Yes, they are indeed.
And in the pits for over 1 minute already, Iris Pro and Rodex, there were only 5 seconds between them entering the pit lane. In the 5 seconds interval, they will be back on the track. Still more than 1 minute. They have to be there, and the best placed team with all stops done now is Kart Team Vitlich and Joker Team, as Kart Team Vitlich, as it's still standing in the pits for the last seconds, goes in front. So now we're waiting how far up Joker Team will go before Iris Pro and Rodex are back on track for the last stint of this race.
Okay, 1 hour to go. We know that Dennis Holler is not going to be pitting for at least another 15 minutes, so I will take you at least another 10 minutes. So here we go. Here is a full rundown of all 47 teams. Leading the way at the moment is kart number 1, PF Racing. They are 2 laps in front of kart number 8, Damuso and Son. Infinity are a further minute back in 3rd in kart number 17. Puissance Kart 1 are 4th rather. Matt Trax Racing just 4 seconds behind them in 5th. Then we have KMRS Racing from Belgium, Team TKR from Germany in 7th, and Dymovi Racing from Poland in 8th. The top 10 rounded out by Belgium's Kevin Tovana, and then Maciusz Matis for the movie racing team, the 2nd are the Polish team. They are in 10th place, and they are 5 laps off the lead. In 11th place, we have Red Racing from Italy, followed by the Joker team from France. They are the leading team now, who have made all 15 pit stops. Iris Pro from Switzerland, Rodex from Spain are 13th and 14th. Rounding out your top 15 are the Asphalt Knights from Portugal. In 16th position is the number 24 kart from Lecluse Automobiles Racing. Behind Lecluse, we have Kart Team Vitlik from Germany and the Croatia Racing team from Spain. France's PK16 Racing run 19th, and the Italian Sun Life Racing team round out your top 27 laps behind the leaders. Tyre Shop from Ukraine are 21st. Then it is the Jules Bianchi TMS team running in 22nd position, just in front of the number 43 kart. That's Track Limits by Storm Group. Then it is the Buro 11 Need for Speed team in 24th place, followed by KRS Green Competition from Germany, rounding out your top 25, 8 laps off the lead. Iris Sport from Switzerland run in 26th position, followed by Spain's Endurance Racing team and France's Spirit of Kart. Rounding out your top 30 in 29th position is the number 5 entry from Spain, Cordecost Racing from France, and the top 30 completed by the DY Iron Kart team based out of France. Euro Racing from Austria run 31st, PFV from Italy are 32nd, Warm Up Pro Racing and Tyres Online from Portugal run 33rd and 34th. The top 35 are rounded out by the Pomposa New Generation team. They are 10 laps off the lead. In 36th position, we have the number 18 kart, Yarama Fan Racing from Spain. They are just in front of Cockpit Kart Arena from Germany, with Mold Racing from Moldova in 38th place, and the NRG team, the Neva Racing Gladiators, 11 laps off the lead in 39th. Pres Ristaci from Croatia running 40th, and Sankaci from Slovenia are 41st. Then the final 5 teams still in the race, all 47 karts are still running. Young and Wild are 42nd, followed by the NFS Legends from Ukraine, the Racing Girls in 44th position, Turbo Cherepashki, Biokart GP Racing from Serbia, rounding out the field, 24 laps off the pace. From Greece, it's Van Hart Kierat. That is your final full field rundown of all 47 teams with 55 minutes to go. Gert Teamrots, I think if it gets any more exciting, I'm going to blow a gasket. The pit lane is now awash with karts, all making potentially their final stop. Damuso, Dad and Son are in, and yet the race leaders have now made fewer pit stops than everyone else in the top 8, bar Puissance Kart. It's pressure, pressure, pressure for Dennis Holler.
Alessio Lucchesi in the pit line for the 14th stop of his team, Damuso, Dad and Son. There is one stint left for them. Still one time they will have to be in the pit lane, and only 24 minutes left before the pit lane will be closed. And now, after their last stop out on the track as the best placed team with the all stops done, is Joker team in P11 with Martin Brochard at the wheel. And Brochard has done so far less than 2 hours on the track. This is the last stint for him till the finish line. Joker team in P11, 3 seconds down with the all stops done is our Aries Pro with Thomas Contaminas. And at the wheel of go-kart number 12, also all stops, all 15 done for Vidal Pablo Pardilla in P13 for Rodex. Rodex on their last until the finish line, and then there is a 51 second gap till the kart team Wittlich. The Germans also have done all necessary pit stops. They are on their way to finish line, and now in P14. But Infinity up to second place, 2 laps behind the leader, and with advance of 1 pit stop more. Nicolo Sofiati still driving his go-kart number 17. Now after Team TKR pit stop, which is going down to P7, Damuso, Dad and Son with their penultimate stop with the last seconds in the pit lane now already are down to P6 before Team TKR. We still have a lot of teams with the pit stops to go. 22 minutes left before the pit stop entry will be closed. Eliseo Lucchesi back on the track for Damuso, Dad and Son. Still there will be 1 pit stop for all teams within top 10, because no Matrox Racing are in the box now. First seconds for last pit stop for Matrax Racing. They are already in P4, 3 laps and 5 seconds behind the leaders. The seconds starting to count. They still have more than 2 minutes to wait in a pit lane. Miguel Neto into the pit lane has been on the track for more than 3 hours in this race, and they have Ruben Concietao. He has been only 2 hours and 11 minutes on the track, so the last stint for Matrax Racing will be for Ruben Concietao, and he will be over the finish line within 51 minutes. Matrax Racing already in 5th place, still 50 seconds in front of Damuso Dedensan. They are back from their penultimate pit stop on the track, so at least 5 minutes Elio Lucchesi has to be on the track before he can enter the pit lane again for the last stop. And only team within the top 10 with 15 pit stops is Matrax Racing, but we cannot say that with 15 pit stops done. They are within their last stop now, and they still have to be in the pits for more than 1 minute. First seconds for penultimate stop, the movie racing team. They are down in P9, and it seems like very soon in top 10 will drive in the teams who have done their last stops. There is Joker team, Aries Pro and Rodex, separated by only a couple of seconds between them. Aries Pro 4 seconds behind Joker team. That's 19th and 12th go-karts on the track, and also number 36 only 2 seconds. Pablo Partila Vidal in a Rodex kart with number 36 now up to 12th place. The movie racing team moving down. The owners of best lap time of this race, 1 minute 12.7 seconds, now down to 13 and still have to make one stop. Last seconds in their last stop for Matrax Racing. They are down to P8. Kevin Tuvena driving go-kart number 21 for KMRS by Skov. Now up to 7th place, but still 1 pit stop to go. 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Matrax Racing with Ruben Concietao back on the track. Now they are in P8. Red Racing going through the last corner. Did they manage to get in front of them or not? Over the finish line goes Red Racing, Matrax Racing beginning the next lap with Ruben Concietao, and Matrax are in 8th place. So far the best placed team with all stops done. 2 places lower, Joker team up in top 10 with 16 minutes on the track, and last stint for their driver Martin Brochard. BF Racing still leading in the pit lane now for more than 1 minute. They will be there. Their lead already has reduced to 1 lap, but it still is enough to hold the lead for BF Racing team. Second placed Infinity is still 1 lap down, and there is less than 1 minute left for BF Racing, but BF Racing, Infinity, and also all teams in the first 10th except Matrax and Joker still have to go in the pit lane for 1 more stop, and we have only 18 minutes left before the pit lane entry will be closed. 40 seconds for BF Racing in their penultimate stop, only 1 lap left of their advantage over Infinity. Now they are on equal count of pit stops. They have to drive in the pit lane 1 time more, and still 2 pit stops for Poissan's car. They are up in a 3rd position now, but where they will be after 2 pit stops in the next 18 minutes.
Now you're seeing on the screen why we were focusing so much on the struggle of PF Racing to try and put Infinity a lap down, and why it was such an important stint from Nicolo Soffiati, because as PF Racing exit the pit lane, we will wait and see what the gap is. Nicolo Soffiati because he managed to stay ahead of Dennis Holler on the track while we were following them, they are still on the same lap as the race leaders. Puissance Kart have pitted for their 14th pit stop. KMRS Racing now, Matrax Racing are ahead of Joker Team in the battle over who has completed their pit stops. Matrax Racing in kart number 25, they are 8th overall, and they are 3 laps and 25 seconds down. They will be on the lead lap, but about a minute adrift of PF Racing when PF Racing make their final stop. We could have a situation with 3 karts still on the lead lap after 12 hours of racing, as drivers now starting to get a little bit tetchy with one another. This is where the bull stops. What is it called? Talent walks, bullshit talks, something like that. I didn't swear. I coughed. Can I have a sweet? Have a sweets, if possible. Have you got any left?
45 minutes left. That means only 15 before the pit lane will be closed. In penultimate stop now, Poisson's kart 1 down to 5th place. They must do at least 5 minutes on the track. They still will be half a minute in the pit lane. There will be less than 10 minutes left before the pit entry is closed when they have to make their last stop.
There's the gap. 52 seconds between the race leaders and Infinity. Infinity are 1 minute 13.3. That's only 0.4 of a second slower than their fastest lap of the race. Vicker Schlietz is in the kart. His first flying lap was a 1 minute 14.2. Let's watch the gap. There's your leader on our screens, kart number 1. 50 seconds in front of Infinity. KMRS Racing from Belgium are a further 50 seconds behind. In 3rd position, Demuso and Son are a further 44 seconds back in 4th. And then Lars Linton, another 36 seconds behind them in 5th position.
And then 3 laps down from the leaders are coming the teams without pit stops yet, and Matrax Racing in P7, and now the last stop for Team TKR. They were in P5 and now 36 seconds in front of Robin Affolter, driving with go-kart number 33 for Poisson's kart, who still has one stop to do. And now the real battle begins just in the last laps of this race. 43 minutes to go, 13 before pit entry will be closed.
There is your 2nd place driver going into Button Complex on your screens now. Infinity. It has been a truly magnificent stint for Niccolo Soffiati. Who is going to take it to the finish? Riccardo Agostini will have to get back into that kart to bring it to the end, but they're going to leave it late. They're going to give Agostini, I think, probably just over half an hour, and Soffiati has driven, he's driven his Watsits off, I'll say that. Now, Bastien Mounier is coming to the end of what has also been a very, very impressive stint. Elio Lucchesi has just got into the Demuso Dad and Son kart, but he will be getting out of that kart to hand over to Andrea Triscello to take it to the finish. Robin Affolter will be getting out of the kart soon. He has to. Who will take
Not
over?
so soon. He has driven only 2 minutes.
Yes.
Not the half of his stint yet.
No, I got a feeling. Who's he going to hand over to? My money would be on Florian Garcia to bring that kart home. Then the Matrix kart, they don't have to worry about another pit stop. All their drivers have done their minimum required time. Ruben Conchechao will bring that kart home. Red Racing in 7th place are now in the pits, making their final stop. Joker team have made their final stop. They run 8th, and they've got a very fast peddler in Martin Brochard behind the wheel. The number 36 team, Rodex, they have got Pablo Pardia Vidal behind the wheel. And then rounding out your top 10 is Iris Pro with Thomas Condaminas behind the wheel. He will be bringing the Swiss entry home, and they've just moved up into 9th place past Red Racing.
Red Racing still in the pit lane for more than 1 minute. They are dropping down to 10th place already. Behind them are coming Creatia Racing Team and Kart Team Wittlich. Wittlich have done all necessary pit stops and are on their way to the finish line. 11 minutes till the pit line entry will be closed, and we still have more than 6 teams. They have to go in a pit lane. There will be rush in the last minutes before the pit lane entry is closed. So 41 till the finish, 11 till the pit lane will be closed, and we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teams who has not pitted their 15th stop, and they will be there in next 10 minutes. They will go in there almost simultaneous, almost in the one time. So 50 seconds between the leaders, and the leaders also, all 5 leading teams still are 1 stop missing. 10 minutes left. PF Racing and Infinity, KMRS Racing and the Muso Dadansan, Poisson's Kart 1 and Matrax Racing. Matrax Racing are the first team with all stops done, and top 5 teams in front of them still have to go in the pit lane in the next 10 minutes. Now clocking fast times with a 1 minute 13 seconds. PF Racing, Infinity and KMS Racing. The next teams are going 1 minute 14. The Russian pit lane has started. In goes Track Limits by Storm Group. In goes DY Iron Kart Team. Going out, Red Racing back on the track in P17.
39 minutes to go. Still, we wait for the final pit stops. The next 9 minutes are going to be critical because all of the top 5 have to make their final stops. How close will Matrix Racing get? Infinity, they came, well, when PF Racing came back onto the track, they were 53 seconds in front. They're now 49 seconds in front. Nicola Soffiati is wringing the neck out of that Sodi kart. As we look at Bastien Mounier, so here we go. There's a couple of close battles. Bastien Mounier for the number 22 team. KMRS Racing in 3rd position. We now know, well, they're a lap off the lead. It's really, I think, PF Racing, Infinity, they're going to be, I think that Matrax Racing will be on the same lap as those 2 when they make their final stop. And Martin Brochard is only 26 seconds behind them.
8 minutes to go before the pit lane entry is closed. 30 seconds in the pit lane for team number 11. They are the movie racing team moving down the order. Now in the P17, the owners of the best lap time of this race. The movie racing team from Poland. They managed to set 1 minute 12.7 seconds. We have less than 8 minutes before the pit lane entry will be closed, and there are top 5 teams. They still have to do one more stop, and also 4 or 5 teams, they also further down the grid, who will be there in the pit lane at the same time.
I mean, this race, the strategy is completely on its head. Normally, the leaders, they make their last stop as early as possible, but now they're making it as late as possible.
Poissan's kart in the pit lane, first 10 seconds spent, last stop for them. Matrax Racing already moving up to P5. Poissan's dropping down in the order. They have 26 seconds advantage over Martin Brochard in a go-kart number 19 for Joker Team. Joker Team also has done all the necessary pit stops and is moving up to P6 behind Matrax Racing, PF Racing, Infinity, KMRS Racing, and the Muso Dan & Son at front still has 1 stop to go.
That was a slow lap for number 25, Matrax Racing, a 1 minute 15.2, and they're in a huge pack of karts coming around the Button Complex. Going into 180 degrees now, there are a whole host of karts. If we try and follow them down the clubhouse straight towards Clubhouse Bend, the team, the best team that have done all their pit stops, are right behind a huge gaggle of karts. There on your screens is the second place Infinity team, still 49 seconds behind, but Matrax Racing have got to get past the traffic that they're behind. Ruben Conchesau crosses the start-finish line now, goes off into turn number 1. I think he's passed 1 kart. He's got another. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's the 5th kart in that big group going out towards turn number 4.
He's losing time. The last lap is 1 minute 16.4 seconds. He's losing time in the traffic, and that can cost him podium.
Exactly. He is losing time in traffic. Martin Brochard is now just 14 seconds behind him. Rodex are a further, 6 seconds back. So 20 seconds covers the teams that are battling for 3rd, 4th and 5th. And the team in 3rd place are stuck in a whole heap of Sodi karts.
Aries Pro just 1.9 seconds. Tomas Condaminas behind Pablo Pardilla Vidal. They are now in 7th and 8th places. Rodex and Aries Pro fighting on the track, and in the pits goes KMRS Racing.
Bastien Mounier pits the number 22 kart, currently in 3rd place. Will that will drop them below Demuso Dad & Son, and will it drop them below the Matrax Racing, because Matrax are still in traffic. They haven't managed to get round Ruben Conchesau, the Portuguese driver based out in Dubai. He has got to get past this traffic because a podium is potentially slipping away. He's just 14 seconds in front of the Joker team, and now the leaders are in. The leaders are in the pit lane. If we have got the pit lane camera, let's try and get the pit lane camera on. Leaders are in. Bastien Mounier is in. Demuso and Son are in. Infinity are hanging on as long as possible, but they're going to have to pit in the next 3 minutes. All the action is going to be in the pit lane right now.
Or just at the exit of the pit lane, at the starting straight. First half a minute for PF Racing. They are in the pit lane and they will be there almost 2 minutes.
Okay, there you are. There is the number 22 sat in the pit lane. That is going to be, Bastien Mounier is out. That's Antoine Morley, the Belgian driver, in there. Moving alongside them podium. That's the number 6 kart. That is the cockpit kart arena. They're not a contender on the right-hand side of your screen. Look at Morley psyching himself up. He's got the Belgian colours on his crash helmet. He's at his home circuit, and there's a podium in the biggest endurance race of the year on offer. Here is your race leader. You can see him move over, tick on his band. That is going to be the race leader. Infinity have the lead. Vika Schlitz. It's going to be Dennis Holler.
It was Vika Schlitz before.
It was Vika Schlitz. It's going to be Dennis Holler, who is sat behind the number 6 kart, and there is Demuso and Son. So the number 8 kart, that's going to be Andrea Truscello. The top, 2nd, 3rd and 4th side of it. There goes the number 22 kart out of the pit lane. 2 minutes 31 seconds. No penalty. Now Holler sits and waits as we tick past lap 503. Infinity have got to be coming in soon. They lead the race. They're going to lose the lead, but how much of the lead will they lose?
They are going for one more lap, just 2 minutes before the pit lane entry is closed. Nicolo Soffiati driving for Infinity for one more lap. Now out of the 2nd corner into the 3rd and to the 4th corner before the Europaplan straight. They are the last team with 14 stops left, and they will be in the pit lane. PF Racing already coming back on the track. 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Also Andrea Truschello out of the pits for Damuso, Dad and Son.
Yes, indeed. Now, PF Racing, Holler, he's going to take a lap to get the kart back up to speed. It's a new kart, don't forget. It's not the same kart that they just pitted with. All the karts are rotated. Here we go. Into turn number 4. I'm looking out of the commentary box window, and here comes your race leader into the pit lane. Now, Nicolo Soffiati had a 1 lap advantage over a lap advantage on Dennis Holler. Infinity are in the pits. We're watching Dennis Holler come around. The next time he crosses the start-finish line, he will move on to the same lap as Infinity.
But they had 2 laps advantage over KMRS Racing and 2 laps and 1.1 second against over Matrax Racing. They will be really close at the exit of their last pit stop.
Yes, Holler is a lap and a half in front of KMRS Racing. So KMRS Racing are 1 second in front of Matrax. I said that the traffic that Ruben Conchechao was facing was potentially going to cost them a podium, and it potentially has. Joker team are only 11 seconds behind Ruben Conchechao, and then Rodox are a further 6 seconds back. Let's find the number 22 kart. He's coming into turn number 10 now.
They should be in traffic both. They are clocking slow lap times for a few laps already. 1 minute 15 for them. That's slow.
It is. Pit lane is closed, and every team has completed their 15 mandatory pit stops. Dennis Holler is now on the same lap as the leader, who is still in the pit lane. The leader's got a minute to go in the pit lane. Ricardo Agostini sits and waits. The best battle is for 3rd place. There is the 3rd place kart, and there is the 4th place kart. So KMRS Racing have got 2.8 second lead over Matrax Racing, and there's the Matrax kart going through your screen now. Ruben Conchechao, he has got to dig deep. He's got to dig very, very deep now to catch Antoine Morley. PF Racing retake the lead. 30 seconds left in the pits for Infinity. It's going to be PF Racing's event to lose. How close will Infinity be, and will Infinity drop into the clutches of this battle for 3rd?
They are in the pits for the last seconds. Last 5 seconds they have to wait, and then Riccardo Agostini coming back on the track for the last stint for the 28 minutes to go, and it's over for Infinity. The pit stop is done. 2 minutes and 30 seconds sharp, and they are coming back on the track. KMRS Racing and Matrax Racing have just started their next lap, and it seems Infinity could be in front.
Let's have a little look there. Riccardo Agostini, he's got to get up to speed. Where is Agostini on the circuit? He is going out towards turn number 4 now. Where is Antoine Morley? He is up in the button complex, so Infinity are clear in second. But the battle for third is on. There goes Morley out of screen. And the number 7 car, that is the last. Oh, well, Croatia Racing. I hope that they made their... Yes, they did just get in before the pits closed by about a second. Here's your leader, and it's going to be a 44-second advantage. So, Infinity gained 5 seconds. The in-lap, the pit stop, and the out-lap gained them 5 seconds, and that's not going to help the race leader. Backmarkers running off the track as they get, I think that's the Greek team, and they are in 47th position. Now we'll see, where is the battle for third? The battle for third place is currently going out towards turn number 4.
It's 2.7 seconds now between KMRS Racing and Matrax Racing. Actually, KMRS Racing are pulling away, and the gap has increased for over 1 second in the last 5 laps.
It's 2 seconds and 3 carts in between them. There are 3 back markers in between the drivers battling for third and fourth. They're going through the button complex now. We're looking at the race leader on your screen. The second cart, number 1, Dennis Holler. Will history repeat itself? Let me holler at your player. He's got 26 minutes to make it a double in the Sony World Series International Endurance Final.
They have advantage over 45 seconds. They can drive it safe home. They are going 1 minute 14.4. It's still faster than the most of the grid doing now. There is a fight for third between KMRS Racing and Matrax Racing. They are clocking a little bit faster, but only a tenth faster than PF Racing.
Yeah. All the lap times have slowed down. The track is cooling, and these corporate tyres that the Sony karts use, they're built to last. They're quite hard. And that means that they don't react well when the track temperature cools down. The engines like the cool air, the tyres not so much.
And after each pit stop they get a new
kart,
and that has cool tyres, because that has been there, that's randomly allocated, that has stayed stationary for some time.
They do need to then work the rubber and to try and gain traction. Now, Matrax Racing still 2.8 seconds behind Antoine Morley. Let's keep you up to date. So Dennis Holler on your screen leads Riccardo Agostini. That's PF Racing leading Infinity by 45 seconds. 1 minute behind Infinity, a lap down the leaders. KMRS Racing running third position. They are just 2.8 seconds clear of Matrax Racing in fourth, with the Joker team closing in as well as Rodox. The Joker team with Martin Brochard behind the wheel, they are entering the fray for a podium position, and Pablo Perdia Vidal is just 6 seconds behind them.
If you dreamed about fighting for third place at the end of 12 hours race, then they are now in the worst position possible. There are back markers all over the place. 3 or 4 between them and 6 or 7 in front. They are just in the traffic, and that seems will decide the podium.
Let's try and look at the karts coming out of the 180-degree left-hander, coming down Clubhouse Straight towards the spectator tribunes. That's the battle for third position.
And there is no worse place on the track right now as here.
Yes, they come into turn 10. This is the battle on your screen here. This group of karts, that's the third and fourth place battle. Let's pick out the numbers. We're looking for kart number 22. There he is on your screen there. Then we're looking for kart number 25, Ruben Conchechao. So Ruben Conchechao in the number 25 kart there in the red and white. That's Red Racing, I believe. Is that Red Racing? Is that 35 to 25?
And Red Racing is fighting with him, is trying to get back position. They are not at the same lap.
Yeah, that's
even.
Red Racing's kart. Further back, another 2 seconds back, Conchechao is right there. They're right there. There's Conchechao, I think. It must be pushing along. In fact, Conchechao is the first kart. He's the first kart on your screen there. In kart number 25, I believe. He's got that Matrix sort of gold and black race suit with a white and orange crash helmet. He has got to chase down the number 22 kart, who is now 3.5 seconds in front of him. But Matrax Racing have got clean air in front of them at long last. And Antoine Morley is in traffic. So, Conchechao, he is got clean track in front of him. There goes Morley across the line, and Morley has got 6 karts to try and get past 22 minutes. There goes Morley in the 22, followed by Conchechao. Conchechao hacking at the steering wheel. He's got the Red Racing team in kart 35 and Burro 11 in kart 4 right behind him. In front of him, he can almost see a podium. There's one lapped kart between him and the number 22 after 11 hours and 39 minutes of racing. We are on lap 510, and any one of 4 karts can finish third.
Still fight for the podium is on. Matrax Racing fighting Joker Team and Rodex, trying to catch Antoine Morla in a P3. He has increased his gap from less than 2 seconds to more than 4. He is managing the traffic better than anyone else behind him.
Yes, and I gotta say, don't sleep on Iris Pro in 7th place. Thomas Condaminas has closed the gap considerably to just 8 seconds to Rodex in 6th, who are just 8 seconds behind Joker Team in 5th, who are now just 6 seconds behind the kart you're watching, Ruben Conchechao, and there is the 3rd place kart. So, 2 karts. Morley has passed 2 of the back markers. He's working his way through traffic, and he's extending his lead all the while to 4 seconds. Conchechao now has to look over his shoulder. Martin Brochard in the number 19 kart is bearing down on the driver we're looking at there, and you can see Conchechao looking over his shoulder. He's getting signals. He's got communication. Radio communication is allowed in endurance racing, so he knows he has got to try and push and push and push.
He has 20 minutes to do exactly that. 20 minutes and 15 seconds to go now. And fight for 3rd place on the podium is still on. We almost forgot about BF Racing. They are 44 seconds in front of 2nd place. Riccardo Agostini driving 2nd, and both of them already driving pretty safe with 1 minute 14.2 seconds for BF Racing. 1st and 2nd places, we can say, are already decided. There can be only something unexpected to avoid them to step on the 2 highest steps on the podium. But there, in a 3rd place, KMRS Racing, 4 seconds to Matrax, 5 seconds to Martin Brochard in a go-kart number 19 in a Joker Team, only 7 seconds, a little bit losing time now. Pablo Pardilla Vidal in a Rodex, he now is in the heaviest traffic.
Yes, but he's just gone quicker. Now he hits the traffic, but Rodex, they set a lap time half a second quicker than Matrax and a 10th quicker than KMRS Racing on the last lap. Still, Conchechao has got Red Racing and Burro 11 Need for Speed behind him. The headlights are dual headlights on the karts. They got the rear lights as well. Conchechao battling for 4th position. Antoine Morley, I think, has just about done enough at the moment, because he is slowly working his way through this pack of carts that Conceição is coming up on. And even though Morley is having to overtake lapped carts, he is maintaining a 4-second lead over Conceição.
So the battle for the third, for the last 18 minutes is still on. 4.2 seconds between third and fourth. 5.5 between fourth and fifth, and 8 seconds behind is Rodex in P6. They lost 0.2 of a second in the last lap. Joker team going a little bit faster than before in 1 minute 14.0 for Martin Brochard in fifth place, losing 5.5 to Ruben Conceição in go-kart number 25, who is currently running fourth and losing 4 seconds till the podium. They are still in the heavy traffic. Now moving forward with KMRS Racing, Antoine Morlet is about 6 cars in front, 6 lappers in front of Matrax Racing's Ruben Conceição. The traffic is the deciding factor for the fight on the third step on the podium here in Karting Genk in a Saudi World Series endurance race for 12 hours. We have only a few seconds in the fight for the third place between 4 different teams. Also Aris Pro only 10 seconds missing to Rodex. Damuso Dad and Son 20 seconds further down in P8, 20 seconds to Karting Wittlich in P9. Adam Zidlowski now driving in P10 for the Moye, and just a second behind him Team TKR with Alexander Ozigo. They are fighting for a P10 on the track, go-kart number 10 and 40, but still fight for the podium is going on, and the distance between the drivers is holding the same. The back markers are in front, at the back between them, and they are still going. 4.5 between Antoine Morlet and Ruben Conceição. 5 seconds behind is Martin Brochard, and 7 seconds Rodex with Pablo Pardilla Vidal at the wheel. 16 minutes to go till the end of this race, and we are still fighting for the podium. The PF Racing's lead has reduced till 43 seconds. A bunch of drivers now through the starting straight. Conceição trying to make his way through the traffic with the help of other drivers. They are communicating on the track and trying to work together to move faster. In front there are still a lot of back markers. Now they are going through the fourth corner and up to the Europa Plan straight. There is a long straight in front of them, but KMRS Racing's Antoine Morlet already in the button chicane now. Still retaining 4 seconds lead. A few tenths closer comes Ruben Conceição fighting for a third. 15 minutes before the end of the race. Only 4 seconds between third and fourth. Also a little bit closing in Joker team with a 5.2 till Matrax and Rodex with a few tenths faster lap time. The gap down to 7.5 seconds, all in one lap of the race together, and there is some contact in the clubhouse corner. Now we are back on the starting straight. Conceição trying to make his communication work with the other drivers and trying to make his way faster and up the grid, but no one is wanting to stay there behind him.
Exactly. What's leave me alone, get out of my way in Portuguese? We'll soon find out what the sign language is anyway. Now, the red racing driver behind him, that is, who's behind the wheel of that car? That's Lorenzo Palumbo. They're in 14th position. And they are only 5 seconds in front of Puissance Kart 1. So you can understand why Red Racing are trying to say, come on, I got to go. I've got my own battle to worry about. The closest battle on circuit is for the final place in the top 10. Number 10, Adam Sidlowski for Dimovi Racing is 7 tenths of a second in front of Team TKR. Incredible. After 11 hours and 45 minutes, 7 tenths of a second. That's not the closest battle. The Asphalt Knights have just been passed by KRS Team Green for 16th position. So they're nose to tail. Where are they on the circuit? Well, they're going down the back straight. They're all on their own in their own private struggle. That's going to go right till the end. The gap at the front, and look, Conche Xiao to the inside of a slower cart, has to move the slower cart aside. Here comes Palumbo in the red racing cart. The gap between between KMRS and Matrax is now 5 seconds.
We just saw how much time did it cost him to just overtake one of the backmarkers, and they are there 7 or 6 in the front and between the 3rd and 4th place teams. Now 12 minutes to go, and it's not an easy job to go past backmarkers, because they are losing a lap or 2 or a lot of them even more, but that's mainly because of strategy, not because of their pure speed. They are really fast drivers anyway.
There are 3 carts between the 22 and the 25, and the rest of they're queuing up behind this battle on track now, and everyone's probably saying, just let them have at it. No one has changed positions in the top 10 yet, although Alexander Osikov is only 1 second behind Adam Sidlowski in the battle of the 10th place. Dimov Racing and Team TKR. Dimov Racing, the Poles are pulling away.
Pulling away very slowly, probably yes, because of traffic also. They are God knows where on the track with the go-karts number 10 and 40. Team Ovi Racing and Team TKR fighting for the last place in top 10. 5.8 seconds between 3rd and 4th. 4 behind is Martin Brochard driving in a 5th for Joker team, and 7 Taylor Rodex in 6th.
The lead is still 42 seconds. Dennis Holler can ease back a little bit. 11 minutes to go. That'll be fewer than 10 laps.
It could be hard to ease back a little, yes, if you have got your rhythm, your flow on the track. Driving whole day for more than 2 or 3 hours, to ease a little bit. It's got, you drive or you don't.
You are absolutely right, Skirts. As a driver, sometimes driving at 95% is harder than driving at 100%.
Or the mistakes are closer at 95 than at 100.
Exactly, because you're so amped up as a driver. They've been out there for so long between them. It's apex after apex. Dennis Holler's eyes will be out on stalks right now. He'll be looking every single time. There's the curb. There's the next curb. Look at the cart. Am I closing in? Check behind me. Is there any danger behind? There's the next curb. Hit my marks. Brake.
Is the
turn.
cart working properly? Is there some strange noises now? Can I hear that? Is there something wrong? We do not know what is going through his mind now. He has 41 seconds advantage, but that stress level is not lower as for the guys who are chasing each other with a 1 second distance.
I mean, we're stressed in the commentary box and we're just watching it. Imagine how he's going to feel. It's hard enough to win one of these races. The best endurance teams from
it's hard enough to qualify, to be there.
Yes, and they not only qualify, to win it once is incredible. To win it twice is amazing. To win it 2 years in a row is virtually unheard of, although I am sure somebody will correct me if we have had a back-to-back winner before. That is in the past. This is the present. And the future looks bright as well, with so many great teams coming back year on year to the Saudi World Series endurance events. Ruben Conche Xiao, I think his goose is cooked. I think the battle for 3rd place is over. We've got 9 minutes to go. And Joker team are now just 3 seconds behind this kart. There, with the orange crash helmet and the light white race suit, I believe that is the number 19 kart of Martin Brochard. Let's have a look as they come across the line. Brochard with the...
That could be the moment when Conceição is okay with backmarkers, as long as they are between him and Matrax and the Joker team. That's okay with backmarkers.
Yeah, Brochard. Let's have a little look. Yeah, Brochard is... just coming into turn 4 now. So out onto the back straight goes Conceição. Then you've got the red racing kart several laps down. Further back, if we could stay on this shot maybe and pan out a little bit, we will see one back marker, then the red crash helmet of Martin Brochard closing in for what would be 4th position. Rodex is 6 seconds back, Iris Pro in 7th, and then Damuso and Son, they are followed by Kart Team Wittlich and Demovie Racing, but the battle is now for 4th place. Can Martin Brochard catch that kart? There goes Brochard round the final corner now with that orange crash helmet.
Looking back over his shoulder, going onto the starting straight. He knows Conceição how close, or he tries to get the view how close is the 4th place behind him. 3.7 seconds. You hear that?
How fitting this is. Portugal versus France for 4th place. They're playing each other in the football. They're racing against each other on the track. I think it's still 0-0 in the football, but you can't have a score draw or even any sort of draw in racing. Someone has got to emerge victorious in what is only a battle for 4th place. But after working so hard, a 4th place finish is, in some respects, the 1st place off the podium.
And when we see how they are fighting for 10th place, the
exactly.
4th, it's still okay.
Indeed. I mean,
and also for the 21st, there is a
place
war
is a battle
going on.
Further back, there's only 0.2 of a second between Corda Costa Racing and Endurance Racing, and that's the battle for 34th place. Now, where is Brochard now? That's not the number 4 kart. There's the number 19 kart. You've got the driver with a grey race suit, the orange crash helmet. Just behind him is the fast approaching Martin Brochard. But with 6 minutes to go, at some point, we're going to have to break away from this battle for 4th place. Can Conceição, the Portuguese man of war, hold off the advancing French army?
PF Racing leading by 40 seconds now. Infinity closing a little bit, but that's not helping anymore. PF Racing are clear leaders of this race. Riccardo Agostini now in 2nd place in go-kart number 17, almost a minute in front of 3rd place driver Antoine Morlet for KMRS Racing. And then the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th places, 6 seconds. Matrax Racing losing to podium, 3.9. Joker losing to Matrax, and 6 seconds down Rodex in P6, followed by Aries Pro with a 17 seconds deficit.
So 5 minutes remain. Probably 4 laps, 3.5 laps, well, 3.5 laps of this 1360 meter Genk circuit. Dennis Holler leads by 39 seconds. He is just coaxing that number 1 PF Racing kart home. There he is on your screens. The grandstand here is absolutely jam-packed. Everybody has stayed to the very end. Now, we know this endurance racing, it's a different bit. You look at Le Mans.
I told you, we should raise the price of tickets.
Yes, exactly. Admission on the gate. There's a move further back in the pack. Who is that making a move? It's the number 21 kart, and that would be KMRS by Scoff. The Belgians are not going to win on home soil. Maverick Desi runs 13th in that kart. Belgium could get a podium, however, with KMRS Racing. However, down the back straight, PF Racing. Christian Dovan, 22 years old from the Netherlands. Nicholas Kruger, the 26-year-old German driver. And the youngest member of the team, Vicker Schlitz, 18-year-old, the Dutchman. They are their home track. Their home Saudi World Series track is the Cool Runners Kart Center in Germany. Leading the charge, captaining the team for a second successive year, and is charged with bringing them home.
That means
Dennis
now
Holler,
we know the track where we have to go to prepare to the next day.
oh yeah. Bringing them home. Dennis Holler, 36 years old, from Germany. He is the most experienced member of this team. He has raced all over the world, but Saudi World Series is his home, and he is going to bring home in just under 3 minutes a potentially historic second consecutive victory. Infinity Racing in kart number 17. They are 39 seconds back. That is Riccardo Agostini behind the wheel, 30 years old, from Italy. He has been joined by 34-year-old Frenchman Boris Bouvier and 26-year-old Bastien Leguay, also from France. But it's the youngest member of that team, 20-year-old Italian Niccolò Soffiati, who drove a superb final stint to keep them on the lead lap and give them a fighting chance in the final hours of this race. KMRS Racing from Belgium in kart number 22, third place. Behind the wheel of that kart is the 19-year-old, the youngest member of the team, Antoine Morlaix from Belgium. He has been joined by fellow 19-year-old Bastien Mounier, who handed over the kart to Morlaix after a great stint, and it was Mounier's last stint that pushed him ahead of Matt Trax Racing and on to the podium. The final two members of that squad, 28-year-old Lucas Urbani from France and 22-year-old Guillaume Germis from Belgium. The home track, the Salle Lecart team. They've been racing since 2016. And this is going to be their first Saudi World Series podium, I believe. We are into the final minutes. I have commentated on a number of these, but Gertz Tim Rotz, it's your first Saudi World Series final. The people
Except electric finals.
Yes, except the electric final. But the Saudi officials are on the track. The grandstand is full. The final lap is about to begin. Please bring Dennis Holler home.
Dennis Holler over the backmarker into the first corner. 20 seconds left in this race. This is last lap of 528 laps race. Last seconds, and Dennis Holler now going through the third corner, and here onto the Europa line, back straight off the track. He's looking back over his shoulder, communicating. Actually, he could brake before the finish line, before the last lap, wait for the second place to arrive, and then cross the finish line when the time ticks 0. So he's already celebrating. He's driving slow this last lap, preparing for his fireworks at the end of this lap for more than 500 laps. 12 hours on the track. 12 hours spent since the moment when they ran over the track to get into their go-karts, and now 12 hours have spent, and we are back here on the starting straight. Goes the leader. There is a checkered flag. Dennis Holler and PF Racing takes the win in Saudi World Series International Finals Endurance Race.
Dennis Holler, fist bumps. You can imagine the emotion that is now pouring out of him and his teammates. Infinity have yet to cross the line. KMRS Racing have crossed the line in third place. Belgium have a podium finisher on home soil. We wait for kart 17. There they go. Infinity finish in P2. Matrax Racing falls 7 seconds short in fourth position. The Joker team finish in fifth, just 4 seconds behind Matrax. From Spain, Rodex take the sixth position, and Iris Pro from Switzerland finish seventh. Eighth are the Italian team Damuso Dad and Son. Germany's kart team Wittlich are ninth, and Poland are in the top 10 with Dimovie Racing, and it's their teammates in the Dimovie Racing team kart. They've got the fastest lap of the race, but Dimovie Racing kart 10 take the final position in the top 10 by just 2 seconds. All 47 karts finish the race. Well done, drivers. Well done, teams. Thank you. What an event. But don't go away, because we will live stream the podium. It will probably be a new video, and the paramedics, the teams, the family members are out. The Sodicart officials and Sodicart, who put so much into this event. It is their crown jewel. They've been rewarded with another fine go-kart race. There will be tears of joy, tears of frustration, but that is why we love endurance racing.
The 12 hours are over. We are getting ready for prize giving ceremony, so don't go away. There will be a party tonight.
Yes, indeed. We will, unfortunately, we can't...
And the fireworks!
There we go. What a way to end the day here at Genk. Fireworks on the track, fireworks in the skies overhead.
And fireworks in a 12 hours long fireworks were today on the track from 11 a.m. till 11 p.m. There were fireworks only by 47 teams fighting for their places in the Sony World Series International Finals.
You know, 11 teams led this race, but after qualifying so far up, I can't even remember where PF Racing started. I think they might have started from pole position, you know.
Good.
But it was far from a lights to flag win. There are the fireworks, ladies and gentlemen. We, up here in the commentary box, will take a break. I think we will try and put the full results up on our screens. We'll give a rundown of everybody. We've done the top 10. Team TKR, P11. 12th for PK16 Racing. 13th, KMRS by Scoff. Red Racing finished 14th with Pousson's Kart 1 in P15. Lecluse Automobiles Racing take the 16th finishing position ahead of Asphalt Knights, KRS Green Competition and Spirit of Kart. The Croatia Racing team, last at the end of lap number 1, finished 20th overall. Tyre Shop are the best of the teams from Ukraine. Then, in 21st place, then Sun Life Racing, Dimovie Racing Team, Euro Racing from Austria, and Portugal's Warm-Up Pro Racing Team. The TMS Jules Bianchi squad finished 26th, with PFV 27th, Harama Fan Racing 28th, the Pomposa Dream Team 29th, and Track Limits by Storm Group rounding out your top 30. Burrow 11 Need for Speed finished 31st, Mould Racing at 32nd, Iris Sport 33rd, Cordecost Racing 34th, and the Endurance Racing Team 35th. NRG Team are 36th, then the DY Iron Kart Team 37th. Young and Wild are 38th, Tyres Online 39th, and Cockpit Kart Arena finish 40th. Press Retacci are 41st, Sankacci are 42nd, the NFS Legends are 43rd, followed by the Racing Girls, Turbo Cherapashki, Biokart GP Racing, and Van Hat Kodiot round out the field.
Mais fogo de artifício aqui do que no ano novo.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you could start to make your way to the podium presentation will be underway very shortly.
That's your only way to get to the podium, to start walking right now and
Right
not
now.
to miss prize giving ceremony.
The top three carts are sat in front of us. So please, can we make our way to the podium? We need all drivers from the top three teams in their race suits. And we would like as many of you as possible to stay behind to show your support.
All supporters, all fans, mechanics, managers, all teams, proceed now to the podium for the prize giving ceremony. We will start in a few minutes, so see you at the podium. Podium down at the clubhouse at the penultimate corner of the lap. You have seen it, driving 12 hours behind it through the 9th corner of this lap, or 8th corner of this lap, and now that's the place where we will meet for prize giving ceremony. So we are waiting for all top teams and all other teams to come here and celebrate the end of 12 hours race and to greet the leaders.
Now, we have to stress that all results remain provisional. Our timing partners at Apex Timing will go through every single team to make sure that every single rule was adhered to. That takes a little while. However, the top three, we can give out the trophies for the provisional results. So please, on the spectator banking, can we have you around the podium? We want to give these drivers as much support as we possibly can. All the teams have done such a wonderful job. Unfortunately, 44 teams leave with nothing apart from the memories and the experience, but the top three teams will leave with the trophies and the honor.
There were medals for every driver.
There are medals for all the drivers, but the big trophies, the trophies that sit in the team's trophy cabinets for many years to come, they will be dished out very, very shortly. So,
BF Racing will need a bigger cabinet very, very shortly.
I don't know if we've ever had a defending champion win 2 in a row, possibly, but it's very, very rare indeed.
If you do not know, I think nobody does.
Well,
so it's totally okay.
That's okay, you know. I'll plead ignorance if someone has. If I'm wrong, come and tell me. You know me.
You will be wrong.
I will be wrong, and I don't mind admitting when I'm wrong. I usually am wrong at least once every sentence. Okay, we are just waiting for the signal from the Sodi kart team. You can see Enzo Lapacette there at the side, part of the 3MK events, Thomas Paricard.
If they are here, everything is okay.
If they're there, everything is okay. I'm assuming the drivers are there, so could we have the top three teams? Could you please assemble to the right-hand side of the podium where the Sodi officials are? I can see Teo Yaquinta there. He's probably looking at the phone. Then I messaged him to say, when can we start the podium? And we will be with you in just a few moments. There is obviously, it's not just the trophies that have to be handed out. What else is traditional on a motorsport podium?
The fireworks.
Yes.
Already done.
But we've
checked.
Check. Fireworks, check. Great racing, check.
12 hours, check.
Check.
Checkered flag, check.
Check. Trophies, check.
Medals already done.
Check.
Champagne.
I think the champagne, being French, is en route now. Once Aurélie brings the champagne. I'm sure it's good champagne, being Sodicart being a French company. In the UK, you're lucky if you get sparkling water. But when Sodicart do something, they tend to do it in style. I can see champagne. Right.
So now we are ready.
Now we are ready. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, please, can we have a huge round of applause for the circuit officials, the marshalling team, the paramedics who have kept the circuit safe and who have kept you all safe over the last 12 hours. I'm assuming there was an applause there. Thank you. As we look out, and yes, thank you very much. Well done to the circuit officials. Well done to the staff here at Karting Genk. A huge thank you to the Sodicart team. On your screens there, they are the team that kept your go-karts running for 12 hours. So thank you, Team Sodicart, for this.
For 47 carts with more than 10 in reserve, do not missing a beat through 12 hours of racing.
We did not have one single mechanical failure on track for any of the karts.
In a 529 laps race for 12 hours, everything went so smoothly as it can. But now it's time to do prize giving. Yes, we are ready.
So, what do you want to do? I'll do third, second, first, or what do you want to do? How do you want to work it? Ladies and gentlemen, the podium presentation is about to get underway. You do the drivers' names, I'll do the team. In third position, please make your way onto the podium from Belgium, KMRS Racing.
Guillaume Jamis, Bastien Moiner, Antoine Morley, and Lucas Urbani, KMRS Racing.
That's good. Do that. Same again. Perfect. Yeah. The Belgian flag, the Belgian Red Devils are on the podium in Genk. They get their third place trophy from, you can see, Otto there. You can see the rest of the Sodicart officials giving out the trophy. Yes, and from Karting Genk as well. There are 4 trophies, one for each driver, and also the team manager. KMRS Racing completed 528 laps with the best lap time of 1 minute 13.044. Congratulations, KMRS Racing.
And losing only 36 seconds after 12 hours of racing, after 529 laps, second place.
But now, in P2, please welcome onto the podium, representing Italy, Team Infinity.
Riccardo Agostini, Boris Bouvier, Bastien Leguay, and Nicola Soffiati.
Joined by their team manager, Infinity completed 529 laps with a best lap time of 1 minute 12.882 seconds, and they finished just 35 seconds behind first place. Well done, Team Infinity. And that is now, I think they were the PFV Young Guns. They are now the PFV All-Stars.
Third place trophies. done second place, done there on the podium, and we are waiting for the winners.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the double defending, reigning Saudi World Series Endurance Champions from Germany, PF Racing.
Onto the podium, Christian Doven, Dennis Höller, Niklas Kruger, and Vika Schleds.
PF Racing completed 529 laps with a best lap time of 1 minute 13.017 seconds, and they win by just 35 seconds. And that there is a brotherhood, a sisterhood in, you have a special relationship, endurance racing, handshakes all round. Each one of these individuals know they have pushed themselves mentally and physically to the limit.
KMRS Racing, Infinity, PF Racing, the best of the best. Now it's time for big round of applause.
They hold the trophies aloft. Dennis Holler in the black cap brought the cart home for a second consecutive year. Now, we have just one thing left to do. Let's bring on the champagne.
Maybe photographers are...
okay, photographers first. Photographers first. Trophies in the air. Infinity's
and
top.
we're a full start with the champagne already. Someone opened the bottle.
Someone snuck behind the podium. There we go. Champagne, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up now. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we watch Dennis Holler take a well-deserved swig from the victory champagne, it leaves me to say a huge thank you to all the drivers, the teams, the families, the viewers. This has been a WFR live TV production of a 3MK event, the Saudi World Series International Finals from Genk in Belgium. Gertz Teamrots, it has been emotional.
And Henry Boudet, it was a pleasure working with you, and we still have one day to go.
We will see you for the sprint finals tomorrow. Good night.